What's up? How we doing? Welcome in, beautiful people. This thing is still not working with me and it's driving me crazy. I'm coming in on 2 wheels this morning. I just put in our question of the day. Still got to pull up TWIG and get all that stuff going. I honestly don't have the form ready like I normally do, which is not ideal. Telling you, coming in hot. I'm gonna try to pull everything up here. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. The only thing in gaming is that sweet, sweet new Zangief footage. All those scrimp.
I'll get you next time,
Sonic!
but first we must go chopper.
That's right. That's what we must do first. All right, I have everything pulled up. All right, movie, and gachapon. It's almost time for a new gacha. I mean, look at all those. We don't have many left. We're nearly there. We've nearly done it. I believe that's the last Dragon Ball. It is. You summoned Shenron. The 4-star Grandpa Gohan is here. All right, Zando, you know what that means. You get to pick another bonus game. Oh, man. How's it feel the first time doing that, right? All right, let me get you a movie game next. Filthy Wish Dragon. Grant me immortality. All right, your movie game. Nice. A billionaire mad scientist who creates human-animal hybrids on his private landmass is heisted by a retired criminal who assembled the perfect crew for heisting. Oh boy, look at that thing focus on that microphone. It loves the microphone. Loves it. I can never get it quite right. A billionaire mad scientist who creates human-animal hybrids on his private landmass is heisted by a retired criminal who assembled the perfect crew for heisting. It's a goodie. That's correct. It is the island of Dr. Moroshin's 11. Chat's in the clap for Zando. We love it. You'll love to see it, folks. You'll love to see it. We've still got 3 more packs. We're doing great. Spelling may be off. You know, I don't even know how they spelled it, but that's close enough. It's close enough. Folks, check out these cool stickers. I got them yesterday. Check out. Got some Ludo Good stickers. How rad is that? It's pretty rad, right? That's pretty cool. I'm hyped about it. I'm pretty hyped. What's up, Trombone? Welcome in. Those are nice stickers. They're nice stickers. I miss Ludo Good. Hopefully we'll be making a new game. We've had one on the back burner for a while. It's just a matter of those things take time. They take time. Well, Zando, let me mark you down for a bonus stream before I forget. Before I forget that. Got my paperwork in with an hour to spare. Yeah! You did it. You did it, T-Bone. Feels good to be done. I know those feels. I'm glad to be done. Done. We are done. We are done with being asylum, and easily one of the worst papers I've written in my life. That sounds like that quote from Ferris Bueller's. Unbelievable. Worst performance of my life, and they never doubted a thing. I'm here for it, Trombone. Hey, look. Have I played Getting Over It? I have. I have played Getting Over It. A wonderfully horrible game. The best, worst game. But if you want a bonus stream of it, I'll do it. I mean, it's challenging even if you've done it. Castle Crashers? Sure thing. Oh, of course I would minimize the wrong things. Where is it? Let's see. My boyfriend brought me Undertale since he knew how sad I was about not finishing it before it left Game Pass. Well, that's a good thing to do. Everybody deserves Undertale. I think Undertale, I would like to see a billionaire just give Toby Fox all of the monies to make Undertale free for everyone. And I say billionaire because there's no doubt in my mind that Toby's made millions. So it's got to be a billionaire. Let's see, Castle Crashers. Well, now you have to convince your SO to also purchase for you Zero Escape and all of the Danganronpas. And then you'll have the full Nerd Pastor Nate suite of games. That's not true. There's also Ace Attorney. King of the Castle. Is it a game or a book? Sounds like a book. No, it's a game. No, I've not heard of this. Narrative-driven, streaming PC multiplayer game set in a fictional fantasy kingdom in development by a London-based studio, Tributary Games, coming to Steam in 2023. You do want to play Ace Attorney? They're excellent games. Team 17 and Tributary. Oh my. His head is
Peggy 12.
Peggy. Let's see. See if I still have this set up properly. Do I still have you set up properly? Let's find out. Go away. Let us see. Boink. I do! Wonderful. Alright, let's see. This is King of the Castle.
Yep, that's me.
His head is upon a pike.
You're
Where's my camera?
probably wondering how I ended up here.
Oh no.
When I was crowned, I thought I was going
Boink.
to sort this kingdom out. But it turns out that my council could cast a vote on every single decision I made.
Oh no! Good morning, Cam. Welcome in. We're watching a trailer for a
I thought the
game.
nobles on the council were my friends. Well, they treated my reign like some kind of game, voting on things just because they thought they were funny.
I'm doing good, Cam. I'm coming in a little hot today. Coming in a little hot. I've been a little busy this morning.
In the end, my nobles raised
It
their...
reminds me of that, gosh, what's the name of that game? Reigns? Is it Reigns, the game where you choose like one or the other? That's kind of what it reminds me of.
banners in
But it's like that, but made
against
interactive.
me. And, well, you know how that turned out. Being king isn't as easy
I like how
as it
grumpy he
looks.
looks. Like he's dead.
So there you go. Maybe you think
He's
you
been
can do
myrtled.
better.
Why does
But
this
I
look
have
this
my
way?
Doubts. Get away from me, you! Go on, get off!
I don't like the way this
Not
looks.
the eyes! Not the eyes! Not the eyes!
Fascinating. Okay, so we'll have to set up a new mask. I'm gonna remember that. Nice. Okay, well that looks cool. I'll have to look into it. I know zilch about it up until that moment that I just watched right there. But that looks pretty interesting. I would love to do more Twitch games. I think Twitch games are fun. By the way, see you, Zando. See you, Zando. I know you had to hop out. Got to take the kids to school. Pop back in later. Deuces. Deuces. The only bummer with that is that means that Zando is definitely going to miss Jeopardy. But we'll get into it. So if you're here for Jeopardy, let's get some Jeopardy questions out of the way. Big opportunity to dethrone Zando. Big opportunity. Sneaky could keep sneaking up on him. All right. We got 3 Jeopardies on the way. First Jeopardy question. If you've never played with us before, I will read off the category, the points, and the question. You just answer. It does not have to be in the form of a question. You just answer it. Cool, cool. Also, thank you, Cam, for the raid. Appreciate ya. Hope that y'all had a great stream. Did you make it out of Pittsburgh today? This question is worth the full amount of points. Full 2K. This is the most amount of points you can get in our Jeopardy game. Category is myths and legends. Makemake is the chief god of a divine race of bird beings in the Rapa Nui Islands. Rapa Nui mythology of this island. If only I could read. Makemake is the chief god of a divine race of bird beings in the Rapa Nui mythology of this island. I'll read it one more time since I flubbed the first read. Makemake is the chief god of a divine race of bird beings in the Rapa Nui mythology of this island. What is the island? Welcome in, Sis Pineapple. How's your Thursday? How's your week treating you? It is not New Zealand. Good guess, though. I thought mocha was a coffee drink. You're not wrong. Makemake. Makemake. Chief god of a divine race of bird beings in the Rapa Nui mythology of this island. I will say the word, I'll give you guys a hint, and then I'm going to turn on the timer. The word island is in the name. It is the blank island. And I'll give you guys one more minute on the clock. Rhode Island is a very fun guess. I'm afraid not. You know all of those ancient mythologies of Rhode Island, don't you? Rhode Island is just chock full of ancient mythology. I actually just was reading about Rhode Island the other day because I'm reading that Vanderbilt book, and that's they have a mansion off the coast of Rhode Island, or they had one. I think it's decrepit now. I think it was destroyed. Faroe Islands. It is not Faroe Islands. We got 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is the Easter Island. The Easter Island. All right. Next Jeopardy question. Worth. Oh, we got to find out. Okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 20. 12. This question is worth 1,200 points. 1,200 points. The category, Russian authors. When he didn't win the inaugural 1901 Nobel Prize, 42 of his peers apologized to him, calling him the most revered patriarch of today's literature. Category, Russian authors, worth 1,200 points. When he didn't win the inaugural 1901 Nobel Prize, 42 of his peers apologized to him, calling him the most revered patriarch of today's literature. It is not Dostoevsky. That's a good guess. That's like one of the 2 names I know. Sneaky, it is indeed Tolstoy. Congratulations to Sneaky. That was the other guess. It was either going to be Dostoevsky or Tolstoy. Those are like the 2 Russian names that I know. Congratulations to Sneaky, continuing to inch closer and closer to Zando. What's up, Classic Hill? Hey, I have something to tell you, Classic Hill, because you make me happy. We do not often see eye to eye on media and hot takes, but I'm right there with you, Brian. You perfectly pinged my total judgment of Ted Lasso. Exactly how I feel about Ted Lasso is how you feel about Ted Lasso. And whenever you were predicting how the seasons would go, I was right there with you. I was like, that's exactly what I assume happens in this show. So I appreciate it. You got somebody on your team, even if it's just one person. Even if it's literally just me, I'm with you. All right, our last Jeopardy question. This is open to everybody. You don't have to answer the form of a question. It's only worth 200 points. Category: familiar phrases. The answer: if you're a little crazy or foolish, you're off your this piece of furniture. If you're a little crazy or foolish, you're off your this piece of furniture. It is rocker. It is rocker. Congratulations to Cam, pulling it out there. Yes. With those 200 points. That was a quick one. Cheaper by the dozen with a bigger budget. You're not wrong. I'm right there with you. I just can't. Everybody's like, oh, it's so wholesome. It better be really doggone good, though, because I've seen a lot of wholesome things in my life, and none of them have blown my mind. Okay, the top three of our leaderboard as it stands today is third place, Weisenleimer with 5,400 points. Second place, Sneaky Pigs with 14,200 points. And Zando Calrissian with 15,400 points. Sneaky, if you'd been able to get Easter Island, you would have passed Zando. It's happening. Sneaky's real close, dude. Sneaky's real close. I feel like I can only get those low ones. I'm so bad at general trivia. Hey, I know none of them. Half of these questions, it's funny that I'm the one hosting because unlike Alex Trebek, I do not know the answers. It always felt like Alex Trebek knew the answers, didn't it? Not me, dude. Not me. All right, let's get into TWIG. Let's just get right into it. I actually got to find it. I had to walk away to set up work stuff, so I missed the first question. Oh no, well, it was a real toughie. I mean, nobody was even close. So, it was definitely a toughie. All right, let's get right into TWIG. Don't go anywhere because once the intro is over, I'll be right back. Oh, let's try again. All right, welcome to TWIG. There we go. So, the intro's not that short. The intro's pretty short, but it ain't that short. That transition, though, oh, we love it. We love it. Thanks to H-Man or B-Surfer, depending on where you find him, for that intro. If you are not familiar with TWIG, this is the Weekend Geek, where we talk about all of the nerdy things going on, all of the fun details and news that are happening. But the way we start that is because we want this to be super interactive with the chat. We start that by saying, what have you been playing recently? What have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been reading? We also ask this question every Friday over in our Discord. What do you planned to? So this is kind of holding you accountable. Did you stand strong? Did you play what you wanted to play, watch what you wanted to watch, do what you wanted to do, or not? I am currently watching through Trigun Stampede. If you watched our latest nerdy sermon, that was what I talked about, and it's really got my heart. I'm all about it. I had doubts because I was like, I don't know about rebooting one of my favorite old anime, but they did it. They did it and went above and beyond. It's so good. I started watching Ted Lasso. I wanted to desperately. I was like, you know what? People always talk about it. I'm gonna try. And the Apple broke. Apple TV just broke. It's already so irritating to even try to watch Apple TV, and it didn't work for me. I have to jump through every single hoop there is just to watch anything on Apple TV, and then it broke. I was so frustrated. I was so incredibly frustrated. because I was like, man, I like being a PC and Android user is irritating enough, but man, I can't watch the shows. And when the thing breaks, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I am still playing Dragon Quest XI. I think I'm almost done. I'm about 37 hours into it, which is just too long of a game. And we're close. We're close to the end. We're in the Fortress of Fear. So for those of you familiar with the game, hopefully that's close to the end because good Lord, am I done with it. And then I am reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by the recommendation of Asia of the Moviga podcast. And Asia the Girl Twitch streaming. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving that book. It's so good. Really enjoying it. Much more scandalous than I expected out of a book about video games developers, but hey, I'm here for it. Let's see. Cam says, main thing here is playing through Tilu, finishing the Tilu show, and then keeping up with the Star Wars ones. Yeah, right now, is it just Mando? Is Mando pretty much the only Star Wars thing happening right now, or is there also a cartoon coming out currently? Is there like Bad Batch Season 3 or whatever? Classic Hill says, I watched Your Place or Mine, the new Netflix rom-com with Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Schmoocher. I have not seen that one, but I did see a single TikTok for it advertising Your Place or Mine, and I swiped past it pretty quick. I like Reese Witherspoon, and I like Ashton Kutcher, but I don't know if I need a rom-com with them. So, was it good? Did you enjoy it? Was it a good, like, date movie, a date night movie? Maybe I could convince my wife to watch it with me. She never watches any movies with me, so maybe that could be how we watch a movie. Okay, not horrible, but nothing special. Was it as good, or did you watch the one with Adam Devine? Adam Devine, wasn't that his name? Adam Devine, and the other girl's name who I don't know how to pronounce, Alexandra Daddario, like the strings, the guitar strings. That movie, the Time Machine movie. Yes, that one. Was it as good or worse than that one? Because that one was like about the bare minimum I'm willing to watch. It was like the most like fine movie. So if this was as fine as that, then I'll watch it. Yeah, Mando and Bad Batch are out right now. That's what I thought. Playing Genshin, Animal Pocket Crossing, plus my saxophone. Do you mean a real saxophone, or are you playing a saxophone in Animal Pocket Crossing? Reading the entire works of Sherlock Holmes got me a big book. Watching Twitch, I don't watch much TV. I hear that. I watch a lot of YouTube. Thought it was better than that one. Not as obviously funny, but clever and cute. Oh, hey, that's a sold. I'm sold. I'll see if Logan will watch it with me, and hopefully we'll get into that. How is Genshin, says Pineapple. Is anything new happening with Genshin? Are they starting like a new season or anything? You played saxophone for a worship team for 10 years? That's amazing. I've played in a lot of worship teams, and we have never had a saxophonist, and that sounds like the coolest thing I could ever possibly imagine. I would love to have a saxophonist. Really, any brass instrument in, well, I guess is that a woodwind? Saxophone is a woodwind. It's brassy. It looks like a brass instrument, even though it's a woodwind. Sax would be real cool. But any orchestral instrument, I think, is super cool to have in a worship team. I played trumpet and French horn. Trumpet sounds pretty cool. French horn. French horn would not sound as cool. I can't imagine a French horn adding too much to a worship experience, but trumpet is always cool. Used to have a saxophonist play with us, and it was always sick. I have nothing against brass instruments. I was a brass instrumentalist. Read all of Holmes in high school. I absolutely love reading all the books. I may need to do that again. They're on my list. I've definitely I feel like I've experienced enough Sherlock Holmes that I need to just dive in and experience it. I get the gist of it, right? So close to platinum on Hogwarts Legacy, I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. Is that a daunting completionist task? How hard is it to get platinum in Hogwarts Legacy? How many hours are you rocking Sneaky? I guess I should ask that. You have an alto called George and a soprano called Mildred. I love it. I love it. That's so fun. Well, I'm glad that you're playing it. I have not picked up my trumpet in 15 years. I still have it. It's probably like rusted and in a pile of ash right now. I should have between 60 and 70 hours to platinum. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. 60 to 70 hours for a platinum is not the worst, especially for an open world. Good. Well, that's fun, Sneaky. Slowly working on that as well on my off-stream game. Yeah, I feel that. I feel it. All right, let's get into some news. So again, keep up with the chat if you have any thoughts on any of these news pieces. We're just going to kind of hit them quickly. Nothing too deep with this one. We went real long last week with all of our various award shows. We are going to go over the Oscars, so that'll probably take a while. But just some highlights of things to know. If you haven't heard, maybe you know this just from knowing about Quentin Tarantino. But Quentin Tarantino has always said that he's going to be making 11 movies and then retiring and never making another movie again. And apparently, his final movie has been announced. It's called The Movie Critic. He already has written the script and plans to direct the film in this fall of 2023. It's going to center on a woman in late 1970s Los Angeles. No studio currently attached for funding or distribution, but that'll probably be coming out pretty soon as we continue to hear about this. I'll be interested to see what we hear and if we hear any like chatter about this. I definitely feel like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was his most marketed film that I can recall. His other films really kind of fly under the radar and then they just kind of drop. They're almost M. Night Shyamalan in that way, where they're like they don't really do the advertising and then they just kind of happen. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood really was advertised. So. Oh no, so he actually said the 10th movie would be his last, and the 11th movie is now he's making. So he considers parts 1 and 2 of Kill Bill to be one movie, says this article. So that's the logic. Kill Bill is one movie, so that's why he's making another. Tarantino is one of the best to ever do it. I love Tarantino. Some of his films are definitely better than others for me, but I love it. I love the stuff he puts out there. I appreciate a lot of the stories that he has to tell. Honestly, I appreciate his storytelling. Just about more than like the storytelling on film, like the way he's able to capture a movie is probably the best part about him. Honestly, sometimes better than the stories. Like the way he tells the story is sometimes better than the story itself, if that makes sense. And I dig it. I'm excited to see what he does with it. The Movie Critic is an interesting name for it. I kind of hope for his last one it's not another like biopic. He kind of got into that, you know? Like, they're not biopics. They're not exactly retellings of moments in history, but he takes a moment in history and he converts it to his own story. I kind of hope this isn't that, but it sounds like it might be, especially since it's set in a very real Los Angeles and a very real 1970s setting, you know? I just hope not. I hope not. I really don't want more of that. You know, he did it really well with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He sort of did it with Inglourious Bastards. He sort of did it with Django. But I don't really want it again. We'll see. It's up to him. I'm not directing the movie. I'm not writing the movie. I'm not doing any of it. So he's going to have to be the one to make that decision. And I just hope that's what he doesn't do. 2 back-to-back The Last of Us pieces of news here. The glorious Soviet onion potato salad is served. I mean, hello, of course. Welcome in. We're glad that you're here. I'm going to call you Spartan. You let me know if I need to call you otherwise. Welcome in. We're glad that you're here, and thank you for your lurk, Trombone. Appreciate you. And our next piece, like I said, 2 Last of Us back-to-back. First off, pretty big deal for HBO. Not the biggest deal, because they do it every now and again, but they are going to be releasing The Last of Us in a DVD collector set. Blu-ray, excuse me, not DVD. Can you tell that I'm old? They're going to be releasing a Blu-ray release of Season 1 of The Last of Us and also a Steelbook edition, which is pretty cool. And in related news to that, Neil Druckmann also announced that Naughty Dog is working on their next game and that it is likely not The Last of Us Part 3. In all the articles that I read, he didn't exactly say that. He kind of danced around what it might be, but didn't say it wasn't. He didn't say it was, but that it was, what did he say? I'm trying to remember exactly what his quote was, but he was kind of like, it's exactly the one we're working on, which was like the most non-answer answer that anybody could ever give, which isn't a huge surprise. But pretty interesting to see The Last of Us kind of pop back up and really take over. So we'll see. I would be surprised if we don't get a part 3, especially with the ending of part 2, but you never really know. Part 2 was also so controversial that it's kind of up in the air as far as what could possibly happen there. Okay, so that's The Last of Us news. Let me know your thoughts. I see that Cam is thinking about getting the Blu-ray, so maybe. I took the quote as we decided we were working on before the show started, so it wasn't based on the marketing around the show. Yeah, that's definitely fair to say. And it's definitely like almost unrelated. Like it almost feels completely unrelated. I think that if it is Last of Us Part 3, we'll get our own special tease about it at one of the upcoming award shows this year. Magic the Gathering. I know Cam is into this. Magic the Gathering has revealed some of their cards from their new Lord of the Rings booster packs that are going to start coming out, or maybe have already started coming out. With the set's official reveal, no. So when is it planning on dropping? Let's see if I can find that. June 23rd. Tales of Middle-earth, June 23rd. If you haven't checked out the Lord of the Rings cards, they look really cool. I'm here for it. I think that it's so we actually posted on it over in our Discord, and I think it was either Cam or H-Man that said it best. The lands are honestly the best part so far. That artwork of actually seeing the lands, which if you're unfamiliar with Magic, that's kind of your like mana that you pull from so that you're able to actually like dive things out. So, those are probably the cooler part for me. I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. It's not that I don't like Lord of the Rings, but I'm definitely not like diehard. I don't know everything about it, but I'm still here for it. I think it's pretty dope. I think it's pretty neat. I'm excited to start seeing some of the cards. I doubt I'll buy any, but I would definitely like to see some of our Magic the Gathering collectors post them over in the Discord, which is another plug for our Discord. Expedition Discord in the chat if you want to be a part of that. We have people posting their collections, people posting their swag, people hanging out in that space all the time. We'd love to have you there. Okay. Another minor piece of news before we go through the Oscars. If you were one of the few people, the few like 100,000 people that bought the Nintendo Wii U, you should probably check on it. You should probably check on it and make sure that everything's okay, because supposedly a lot of them are just dying. They're just dying for a somewhat inexplicable reason. Some people have connected it to like the RAM. Some people have connected it to some of the memory within it. So like the actual like memory built into the system is corrupting and making the console pretty much unusable. They'll probably come up with some kind of soft fix, but in all honesty, with how much they didn't really dig the Wii U, I think it's just not gonna be. So time will tell with that one, but if you were one of the few people like myself who did have a Wii U, I need to check on mine and see if it still works, and hopefully it does, because there is something there that is bricking consoles, and that is just no good. I'm tired of the history of bricked consoles. It's so sad. With that, let's get into our final news story for today, which is the Oscar winners. The 95th Academy Awards happened this past Sunday, and we're going to see what everything won. Before that, I want to turn to the chat real quick. Sneaky mentioned the One Ring card. Better preserve it for life. Are they only making one print of the One Ring? Is that for real? That can't be. I saw the first offer for the One Ring has been made at 100,000. That's insane. See people make estimates that it was 7 digits. I mean, with how much the Charizard, like are they seriously, how many are making? I didn't read the data, but do fill me in. If they're only making one card, that's the One Ring, that's it's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's a special version. I see. That's still pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, you think about Charizard, right? Like the Charizard card from the Gen 1 that's holographic went for what, $400,000? So it'd be pretty surprising to see it hit 7. But maybe. All right, the Oscars. So let's start from the bottom and go to the top. All of the winners from the Oscars. And see what they came up with and who won what. Honestly, this was kind of a year for sleeper movies that I didn't see a lot of, some of which only recently became available because they took so long to come to streaming, and that is how I experience movies. So, yeah. Makeup and hairstyling. The Whale was the winner there. Unsurprisingly, if you saw the fat suit that they put Brendan Fraser in, it was very impressive. Film editing was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it sure better have been. Visual effects are Avatar: The Way of Water, unsurprising. Original score is All Quiet on the Western Front. No shocker there. Live action short film. Honestly, I want to add all of these to the list because I haven't seen any of them, but An Irish Goodbye was the winner. Animated short film, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse is the winner. If you guys are not keeping up with, what's his name, Charles Maxey or something? If you haven't kept up with his collection of books and art and storytelling, he's a great follow on Instagram because he posts his art all the time. And that's just a wonderful, wonderful creator, a wonderful, wonderful artist. He reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. With the way that he tells his stories and with the simplistic aphorisms that are very encouraging and inspiring. You should check it out. It was a great short film and a wonderful book. Achievement in sound, Top Gun Maverick, no surprise, that was definitely a movie theater movie. Costume design, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was the winner. Cinematography, All Quiet on the Western Front was the winner. Production design, All Quiet on the Western Front. Honestly, I was surprised to see All Quiet on the Western Front kind of sweep kind of sweep some of the minor categories. Pretty surprising. Director was Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Actress in a leading role, surprising nobody, is Michelle Yeoh. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Actor in a leading role, Brendan Fraser, The Whale. Really, again, surprising nobody. Original screenplay, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The True Sweeper. Animated short film, this surprised me. This one surprised me. I disagree with their choice, but it's honestly probably has more to do with the name attached to it than anything else. I am going to read these. I'm going to read all of the entries here because I vehemently disagree with their choice. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio was the winner, but the other entries, the other nominees that should have been considered better, in my opinion, were Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. Turning Red was maybe my favorite film of last year. So I think Turning Red probably should have taken it home. I guess it wasn't serious enough. I don't know what that means. The Sea Beast was pretty good, but at the end of the day, it was just basically like a shonen anime. It was kind of vanilla. Puss in Boots blew people's minds with the villain, and so I think that was something that probably should have gotten more serious consideration. Marcel the Shell is an interesting choice to even be here, but even I understand that one to have been pretty good. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio was okay at best. Should not have won. I think it only won because of Guillermo del Toro. Original song, Natu Natu from RRR. Of course, it should have won. Honestly, I was surprised not to see RRR in more categories. I think they should have been considered much more often. Documentaries, these are ones that I haven't really seen, but the winner was Navalny. Documentary short was The Elephant Whisperers. The international feature film, unsurprisingly, considering it swept so many others, is All Quiet on the Western Front from Germany. Actor in a supporting role was Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once. His win was very sweet. Actress in a supporting role was Jamie Lee Curtis from Everything Everywhere All at Once. That one was pretty good. You finally watched RRR? Yeah, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And then, of course, you've already heard it several times, but the best picture was Everything Everywhere All at Once. And those are the categories. I agree. Angela Bassett definitely should have taken Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So good. So good, man. She killed it. She killed it. She was so good in Black Panther. She was what made that movie as good as it was. In my opinion, it was a fine movie that was taken to the next level by Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett did the thing. Have you guys seen that? Is that too niche? Have you heard that song? Let's see if I can look that. Angela Bassett does the thing. Did the thing. Oh man, can I not find the video? I gotta find the video. Oh, there it is. So if you missed this song, let's see if I can pull it up on YouTube. I haven't watched this video, so I have no idea if it's even clearable. That's so good. Oh man, Angela Bassett did the thing. There was a song that I can't remember her name, but she's in the kerfuffle right now with Selena Gomez, and it's so good. It's so good. Angela Bassett did the thing. It's such a bad song in all the worst ways, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. There we go. That is all of our news for this one. So now we're going to move into our next segment of the show, which is to the Discord. We did have one piece of news submitted via our Discord. If you want to submit news, then !twig in the chat. We'll bring up the link, or you can go to bit.ly/twig. bit.ly/deartwig, DEAR twig. And you can enter your news there, so it'll be talked about in next week's show. But Buish actually submitted this one about, it was from The Verge, about Meta's AR and VR hardware roadmap for the next 4 years. Some of their plans and the things that they have going ahead. They're planning on 3 new Quest models being released. I see the Quest 3 is at least one. Let's see if we can find the others. Maybe a new Meta Quest Pro. They're working on AR glasses, neural interfaces. I mean, I think the future is probably AR. A smartwatch. Ray-Ban stories released in 2021. Maybe they're improving upon the Ray-Bans. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting enough seeing the future of AR and VR. I don't, the thing about Meta in general is that I don't really trust Meta, and I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off, but I tell you what, they sure better, because if you've ever looked at their budget and how much they put into the future of AR and VR, hoo boy, they sure better. If they do not pull it off, I don't know what they're going to do. But yes, 3 new Quest headsets, AR glasses, and a neural interface smartwatch. The glasses are still 4 years away, which just feels too far away. But, time will tell. I want to know more about what the neural interface thing is all about, because that's a weird sci-fi word that I feel like they kind of just made up. The smartwatch will integrate with Meta's social media apps and offer health and fitness features, so like every other smartwatch ever made. Building a neural interfaces watch. Number 1, this device will do input to control your glasses. So they want to make a suite. It sounds like Meta wants to make a suite of things that you can use together. And that's all well and good, but only if it works. That's all well and good, but only if it works. So hopefully it'll work for them. I have no stock in Meta, but the future of AR and VR is happening, and I hope they're able to pull it off, because it sure would be nice to have and to see the future of. With that, we're going to move into our next segment of the show, which is, hang on, let me get the thing pulled up.
At this point in nerd history!
All right, this is all of the things that have happened on this day in nerd history. Games that released, movies that released, TV shows, tech, whatever. I've got today just games and movies for you, I'm afraid. Some games that released in history were Kirby Star Allies, released back in 2018. Pretty critically panned, not very well beloved Kirby game. Ace Attorney, released in Europe in 2006. My favorite game of all time, or at least one of them, Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, released today in 2004. Pokemon Puzzle League, released in Europe back in 2001. And the original Yo Noid. Do you remember the Noid? The Noid games, released in Japan in 1990, today in history. The movies that released today in history were, in 2018, Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider movie based off of the video game franchise. It did pretty well, released back in 2018. 2017, the much less well-received anime adaptation of Ghost in the Shell was released. And then back in 2012, 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill was first released, surprising everyone with how actually pretty good it was. And then one of my favorite movies of all time was released today in 2001, Memento. If you've never seen Memento with Guy Pearce, he's absolutely good. Is it Guy Pearce? I'm pretty sure it was Guy Pearce. One of Christopher Nolan's first films, and an excellent movie all around. If you've never seen it, you should see it. So good. Absolutely priceless film. And that has been...
Today in nerd history!
All right, now we'll go to our final segment of the show, because I did not get a meme for this week. The upcoming releases, things that are happening in the next week. So starting today, going into next Wednesday, let's see what is happening and what is releasing. Some things that are coming out today. Let's see, we have a game dropping today. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR. If you've missed out on the Dark Pictures series, it is kind of an Until Dawn-esque storytelling approach to horror games. And they are releasing their VR game, which I think is their first VR game as far as I know. Probably coming out on the PSVR today. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza or whatever, Sons of Cereza or Cereza of Sins or something like that, is dropping tomorrow. I will affectionately continue calling it Babynetta. WWE 2K23 is also dropping today. Deceive Inc. is dropping on the 21st. Have you seen this game? Do you know anything about it? If you've missed it, then it looks kind of like Valorant meets like Ocean's 11. So you're essentially, you are a spy, you are deceiving, lying, corrupting, and sabotaging your peers as you venture around an FPS map, and you have special powers that allow you to do certain things. Looks very similar to every other games as service game out there right now. Looks like Overwatch meets Valorant, told in the same vein as Ocean's 11. If you're into that kind of thing, that happens on the 21st. Mighty Doom is dropping on the 21st as well, which is the first, as far as I know, made-for-mobile Doom game. Made-for-mobile Doom game looks like a fun time. If you like Doom as a franchise, I'm sure it'll have a lot of nods and Easter eggs in there for you. It'll be a good time to play for at least a little bit. Chia is dropping on the 21st as well. This has been proclaimed as the spiritual successor to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. As far as I can tell, it just copied the art style. I don't know if it has anything else that will make you reminiscent of Wind Waker, but that in and of itself is a pretty good reason to play, I suppose. And you should check it out because I think it's going to be dropping on Game Pass as far as I recall. I'm not sure about that last part, but I know that Chia is definitely coming out somewhere for a big deal because they definitely talked about it on one of those shows. Nope, I spelled it wrong. TCHIA. PS Plus Extra, maybe? Maybe that's what it is. Okay, so it's gonna be a PlayStation Plus game. Yeah, it's only dropping on PlayStation and Windows. But it looks interesting enough. Tropical open world adventure as she sets off to rescue her father from the cruel tyrant Mavora, ruler of the archipelago. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But if you're gonna play Chia, let me know because I think I want to at least know more about it to see if it's interesting. Movies dropping this week. Some movies happening are tomorrow. The Boston Strangler. I believe it's a made-for-TV movie with Keira Knightley, where she is playing someone who is maybe reporting on the Boston Strangler or is being hunted down by the Boston Strangler. I'm not sure. But if you like Keira Knightley, she'll be in that. Inside with Willem Dafoe is happening tomorrow. Not sure what that one is honestly about. Just know that Willem Dafoe is in it, and I like Willem Dafoe a lot. Pinball, The Man Who Changed the Game is a documentary happening tomorrow as well, telling the story of somebody who supposedly rescued pinball machines back in the 70s. It looks like it's from the 70s, based off of a real story. It's a documentary sort of thing. Probably worth the watch. You should check it out. Tomorrow also, some of you will be hitting theaters, maybe even tonight hitting theaters and seeing the sequel to Shazam, which starts airing tomorrow as far as I know, but probably has some midnight releases somewhere in places that still do that, happening tonight. Are you excited about Shazam? I'm pretty excited about it. I really like Zach Levi. I personally enjoyed the first Shazam movie. I know that's kind of a hot take because a lot of people did not like it, but I'm here for it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it did what it needed to do. Thought it knew what it was and knew what it wanted to be. And that's a lot to say for a DC film right now. TV shows coming out. Agent Elvis is a new animated show dropping tomorrow on Netflix. Gotta be real with you guys, I'm not gonna be watching Agent Elvis. So if you're gonna watch it, good for you. I could not care less about this movie. Extrapolations is a movie dropping tomorrow, or a TV show, dropping tomorrow over on Apple TV. It has a 4 out of 10 by reviewers. Probably don't watch it, but it sure is star-studded though. I already saw Meryl Streep, Ed Norton are in it, and hoo boy, people really are not enjoying this TV show. So if you're down to clown and want to give it a shot, let me know what you think of Extrapolations, but if reviews are anything, probably don't see it. Never seen Shazam. Sneak, you should watch. I think you'd enjoy it. I really enjoyed Shazam. I didn't realize that was a hot take. I thought most people enjoyed it. No, definitely not. People did not enjoy it. Now, I will say, reviewers enjoyed it, and the general public was kind of green on it, but it definitely wasn't beloved, I guess I should say. Hello, Vol, Audacity. What's up? Welcome back. It's been a while, Audacity. How you doing? Welcome into our little Twig news show here. We're just wrapping up with our last TV shows announced this week. Raider Call of the Arbiter is dropping on the 18th over on YouTube, which is kind of a strange one. If you like Raid Shadow Legends, this is a non-spawn, but they are releasing a TV show. And it looks okay, you know, for what it's worth. Raid does their best, and they definitely have the budget to create a good TV show, so maybe they're going to do it. And then on the 19th on AMC, Lucky Hank, the newest Bob Odenkirk show, is dropping. We'll see how it does. I haven't heard any reviews on it so far, so it must not be doing too well. But if you love Better Call Saul and you want more Bob Odenkirk in your life, then it's another thing featuring him made by AMC. There you go. So that is all of our news for this one. This has been Twig. No meme of the week this time. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same place on our Thursday stream for the Weekend Geek. More news and things that'll be happening there. You should make sure to tune in next week. Same time, same place to enjoy that. If you'd like to submit your own news !twig in the chat, or bit.ly/deartwig, DEAR twig, to enter your news there. And we'll be posting this live on our YouTube channel tomorrow, so you'll also be able to catch the VOD if you missed any segments of this news show. With that, we're going to end this with the 3 things that we believe to be true about every single one of you out there. So if you're watching right now on Twitch, be sure to say, hi, YouTube, because you're on YouTube now. And to all of our YouTube people watching this, know that we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there, regardless if you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, don't go to church. None of those things change these 3 things about you. Number 1, that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. And number 3, believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. Why was I touching my ear? I wasn't there yet. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, thank you so much for watching this video, and I so appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us on these weekly dives into geekly news. If you enjoy these and you watch this far, be sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button so that I know that you enjoyed this. And with that, we're going to end this video. So whether I see you here for the VOD or live on our Twitch stream next week for the live episode of this that you can engage with the chat, I look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye! Oh, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, Audacity, I love your one-shot emote there. That's wonderful. You've not either, Trombone? Y'all should see Shazam. Shazam's cute. Shazam is cute. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Shazam. Okay, so our plan for today is we're gonna go finish Ib, however much time we have left in that game. We're gonna finish Ib, and then I don't know what we're gonna start next. I'm kind of between things. I have a lot of things that I want to start. We may start Birth. The only issue that I have with starting Birth is that I don't think we can finish it. So it'll have to be pushed to next week, and that's kind of a bummer. We'll see. We'll see what we do. We'll just kind of play it by ear. We'll see how we feel after finishing Ib. I may be so storied out that I don't really want to experience more story, but this is my first time ever playing Ib, so if you've played it before, please no spoilers. I am experiencing it live for the first time and really enjoying it so far. And I actually had to update it this morning, which I thought was strange. I don't know why I had to update this game. You would think I wouldn't have to update Ib. All right. Everybody say bye, Spoofy. Made it to work. Good trombone. Glad to hear it. Nope. One of them was going to work. All right, let's see if it just captures. Yeah, I love when a plan comes together. All right, Ib. Ib is the game we're playing today. This is a spooky, scary horror game. If you are not of the spooky, scary horror variety, I will not judge you if you got to go. It's really not that scary. It's got some jump scares here and there, but I haven't been too scared by it so far. It's just kind of been the fun, laughing scares. Basic gist of the story so far is not in for the spooks, I'm going to lurk. The story so far is that we are a little girl named Ib who has gotten lost in a upside-down Stranger Things-esque version of a art gallery that's all inspired by the art of the same person. We lost our parents somewhere along the way, and now we're trying to escape. There are a series of paintings. Some chase us, some want to hurt us, some want to help us. Along the way, we found 2 people. We found Gary, or Jerry, I can't remember how I pronounced it. We found Gary, and Gary is a friend, hopefully, that is currently supporting us and helping us. And then we also found a little girl. I can't remember her name right now. I can't remember her name. She's a little blonde girl with the like ringlets, and we discovered that she is actually a painting by the guy. So she is not real. She's one of the paintings come to life, but she tried to pretend that she was one of our friends, and that is the last thing I remember. So I think we're back with Gary. We wound up knocking her out, the girl who's actually a painting, even though she never hurt us or anything. And now we're trying to figure out what's the rest of the story. We don't really know who we are, except for the fact that we came here with our parents, and there is definitely a painting that I think looks a lot like us. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see. Vol Audacity says, thank you. Have been having a rough time the past 3 weeks. I'm at a breaking point. I feel emotionally numb because automatic self-defense mechanism. Hooray. Cannot wait to watch the stream. I'm sorry to hear that, Audacity. That's no good. That's no fun. And I know that kind of feel where you're just going autopilot for a little while. But I'm glad that you're here. And I hope that you enjoy this game and that it's able to kind of take you out of that space for a little bit and allow you to just enjoy some time and experience a story. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Okay. Oh boy, I did a lot of save files. Oh yes, I remember now. Okay, so where we are, I'm lost. I may have to look up a walkthrough because I'm completely lost. We are inside of a weird sketchbook world that I'm pretty sure was drawn by the little girl who is a painting, who is a living painting. And so we're trying to find our way out, but we're being chased by her, and I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. So I'll go around and I'll see if I can't figure out what to do, but if I can't, I'm not ashamed to look up a walkthrough because I'm very lost. Okay, in we go. We're gonna go explore. So I never remember the map here. The entrance area, inspect questions for more. Let's inspect them. Sketchbook exit needs a toy key. Yes, I need the toy key, but I can't figure out where to get it. A regular house is there. The pudding area says gallery for some reason. A cute little house. And a lake with a bird. Yes, I remember all these things. Okay, so let's look around and inspect literally everything we can until something changes. Oh, well, there you go. Nice. That's why we do what we do. Yes, I'm gonna water that. I'm gonna water that flower. I have a bucket with water in it. I'm gonna water this flower. Yeah, the greatest. There's something inside it. Obtained the little mirror. Yeah, I'm gonna hydrate with coffee this morning, as I still have my coffee. So cheers. Thank you, Audacity. All right. So I got a little mirror. What might I do with a little mirror? Does one of the butterfly want to see the mirror? Want to see themselves? No. This little girl right here is the one that's spooky. Also, there's that blue doll that is definitely alive and very scary, and I do not like them. It's locked. Yes. Okay, we know all this. Our life meter on the top left is the rose. So the rose is the way that we are alive. If the rose loses all of its petals, then we die. It looks like a mirror could hang up there. No. What could I do with a mirror? Do you want to see yourself? No. Wonder what this mirror is for. Oh dear, I've got awful bags under my eyes. But this isn't time to be fussing over my appearance. Sorry. Found inside a tulip. What might this do? Wonder if I can, like, capture the sun, because it mentioned the sun. No. The goose was unimpressed. The goose had no feelings. Horses. Horses. One of you want to see yourself? No. Admittedly, this part of the game has been a bit obtuse. I definitely, like, the rest of the game has had pretty good logical puzzles. But this part of the game does not have logical puzzles. And I don't know why that is. There's got to be something. I don't know what it's got to do with that flan over there, maybe? No. None of these flowers look different. Never seen a mushroom this gaudy. Do I have to answer this correctly, maybe? Goose, is there nothing for you? Ah! How have you been? I've been good. Things have been going good. We've definitely been playing some interesting games. I've been really settling into like Thursdays just being our day where I get to kind of play whatever I want and enjoying the games that we play here. Mondays remain to be Poke Mondays, and then Tuesdays remain to be our Variety Tuesdays, and they're always a little different. I got nothing, you guys. Life's been going good. My daughter turned 4, which is insane. Little mirror. A little mirror found inside of a tulip. Does somebody want the mirror? Gary, you really have nothing more for me? You got nothing for me? Nico would be proud. That's right. A good age. That's okay. Okay. Point mirror toward the door. Easy peasy. Boom, jams. Nice. I see you use the mirror to reflect the sunlight. Not too shabby. I don't need a walkthrough. I'm a gamer. All right, we're gonna save. I'm a Vigi game boy. Can you solve the puzzle? Make one wrong move and you'll be punished. Don't like that. What does that mean? Oh, I gotta go in this order? Okay. I'm gonna draw it. Let's go draw it. We need to take notes. Speaking of these, are from Night Margin, one of the developers of One Shot, which is pretty cool. Do they stream? Or did they just make them? I'm gonna follow them. Yeah, I follow Night Margin on Twitter, but I didn't know they streamed. Okay. Whoopsie. Yes, they do, and I missed 9 years of streams. Oh, no! Well, I definitely got to check it out. Okay, let's draw the thing. Let's draw the thing. Okay, I know the duck is in the top right. The house. The center is the toy box. Left is trees. Trees, house. Bottom left is butterfly. Middle bottom is horses. Map and shoes. Fish. Flowers. Okay. I think I got it. I probably could have done it from memory. Top right is also mushrooms. Well, I will definitely have to go check out Night Margin when they're live. Okay. We start with the horses, which are the bottom middle. Boink. Then the mushrooms, which are top right. Boink. Then cherries? I'm going to guess those are the trees. Then the sun. Then the fish. Then the stars. Then the shoes. Then the butterflies. Oh, come on. I need to be clicking. Okay. We'll do it again. Horses. Boink. Mushrooms. Boink. Trees. Boink. Sun. Boink. Fish. Boink. Stars. Boink. Shoes. Boink. And butterflies. Boink. I like that. Nice chromatic scale. She did some art earlier today. Rock on. Ooh, what'd I get? There's something on the ground. I got a pink crayon. I love crayons. We're going to save. Okay, so maybe do I have to color something in? Yes, I do. Use the crayon. Color in the path. Oh, that's so creative. Scribbling over all this is surprisingly tiring. Now that the ground is colored, it seems you can pass. If there's a toy box anywhere, this is the only place left for it. Magic crayon. Save! If it gives me a save point, you better believe I'm going to use it. This is the toy box? It's rather big. But at any rate, it's really dark in there. It said the toy key was in here. I can't see the bottom. Is there really a key in there, I wonder? Ah! No! No! Don't push me! Don't push me! Want to see? No! Oh, man. I got, dude. I got. Oh, this is fine. The doll? You don't have your red rose? I'm gonna need my rose. Where's Gary? Gary isn't here. No! Oh, well, there's a doll. Disturbing doll is smiling. Disturbing doll is smiling. Disturbing doll is smiling. It's a key! Yeah! I did it! Oh, it's a family. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like any of it. You okay? Who is this? Yay, the rose! Oh, no. I only have one? Uh-oh. I guess that means I only have one shot. Yep. Is that a flag? Okay, well, I'm guessing all these things are going to come after me after I talk to these people. There seem to be stairs behind it. Yeah, would you mind moving? Excuse me. Would you mind moving? Excuse me. Good one. Oh, it's Gary. Oof. Oh, hit my head. Gary. Ib, are you okay? It hurts all over. Hold on, no fractures or anything, right? Well, you can still walk, so I'm guessing not. Phew, don't scare me like that. At any rate. This place is covered in all those bizarre scribbles. Is this the toy box? I just realized it's super quiet. Let me turn it up a little bit. Don't want you guys to miss out on the sound of a jump scare. After she pushed us. Anyway, the toy key, was it? We better find that and get out. I already got it. Oh, you already found the toy key? Well done. Then let's find the exit at once. Yeah, I already... What? I don't like this. I feel like something like this has happened before. Oh, what's with these things? Yeah, but let's hurry toward the exit. I sure hope it's upstairs. Because I got one heart. Sure hope I'm going the right way. Huh? Is this the room where the toy box was? Looks like it. Save! I'm not safe, scum. Wait a minute, Ib. There seem to be stairs over there. Shouldn't we take a look? No. What makes you think that? Thorns blocked the way. Completely blocked. Telling us not to go up then? What should we do? Burn them. We should burn them. Look at them. Thorns are odd. They don't seem real. They don't feel as lively as plants should. They look so artificial. Like a painting? Almost. Although most things here don't feel real. The sunlight or the pudding, for example. We're in really deep, aren't we? Yes. What should we do? Do nothing. Do I have anything to burn them with? No, why do I keep saying burn them? No! I guess pull them. They're much too thorny to grab. I guess we have to burn them. Yeah, I suppose that'll work. Somehow the possibility just slipped my mind. Maybe I just didn't think they were flammable. Well, whatever. Let's try burning them then. Okay. Success! It worked, Ib. I don't know if that's how I'd put it. This room? The air feels very heavy somehow. More importantly, see that, Ib? The painting on the wall over there. I think I've seen it before. Could we get a closer look? No, I'd like to leave. Who's there? Ib, Gary, you're both okay? How did you get into this room? Leave. Mary, don't take another step. What? Leave right now. Now! 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 Leave! Oh, wow, this is bad. This is bad news. I think, yep, I died. Game over. I won't give up. Okay. I guess I needed to run. Maybe I should have run. I'll try to run this time. Lose the glasses, you got it. Okay, Google, set a 5-minute timer. Okay. All right, let's go through this bit. She's gonna talk to me. I'm holding the up arrow. As soon as I can, I'm getting away. Leave right now. Now! Leave! How do I get? Ah! Okay. I won't give up. Do I have to run past her maybe? Like, she's really fast. As someone with almost negative 2 TPT, I know that pain. Yeah, it's definitely a noticeable handicap. I am not able to see. My coffee's cold. All right, let's try again. This time I'm gonna try to check out the painting at the top. Go. Leave! Mary. Oh no. No, I didn't want to do that. No, I didn't want to do that. Now I feel guilty. Oh, I don't want to do that. And her name is Mary. I forgot her name was Mary. I don't want to hurt Mary. Okay. All right. I guess I have to hurt Mary. Man, dude, I don't want to hurt Mary. I know she's hurting me and murdering me again and again and again, but I feel like it's not her. I feel like it's not her. I feel like she means well. I don't know why I want to trust her so much, but I just want to trust her. I desperately want to trust Mary. All right, let's burn it. I'm so sorry, Mary. Just know that I don't want this. I don't want this, Mary. There's no other option left. No! Stop! I didn't want this, Mary. No! No! Aw, Mary. I didn't want this! I have to say, I thought I was a goner there. There's a reason why my avatar has glasses on as well. Yep. That fire, it was much bigger than I expected. Are you okay, Ib? Did you get hurt when the glass shattered? My hand? Oh, you're right, I cut it. I didn't even notice. I must have cut it just now. Well, it's just a little scratch. You can have my handkerchief. Handkerchief? Thanks, but isn't that important to you? I'd feel kind of bad. I'll be fine. It's not that bad. You can put that away. Now then, let's head outside. A palette knife lies among what looks like a pile of burnt paper ashes. She really was one of Gertina's creations then. I can't pick it up? I think I should have that, actually. Okay. I guess not. I feel so guilty. No knife. No knife! Well, I have the key now. Oh, good. We're back to real world. There's a lot of steps. Oh. Oh, we're back to the gallery. This place looks familiar. We did it. We beat the game. Did we make it back? Postcards. Yeah, this is real life. No spooky hands. A well meaning hell. Now that looks a little different. Isolation at water's edge. Hang on a second. So, like a motif of this game was that Ib is a child, and so Ib doesn't know words. And so there were some words that would be like marked out because Ib is a child that doesn't know words, but now we seem to know the words. So is Gary reading them to us, or have we matured? Or were we lying the entire time? Were we actually more than we were? A world where man can never stand. To actualize that world, I decided to engrave it within the canvas. So let's read them again then. A well-meaning hell. Okay. Isolation at water's edge. Horizon view. Serpentine spirit. Eternal sleep. Embodiment of spirit. Beautiful at a glance, but should you get too close, it induces pain. It blooms only in wholesome bodies. Selfless guard. That's the sky seen from a hill. The coughing man. Fusion. They seemed so ominous before, but now they're just like normal words. Nature moored on table. The hanged man. Lady taking the newspaper. Worry. Couplet towers. The lady in red. Spectacle of century's end. Taste cleansing tree. Wariness. Do you think is this Gary or is this us? Your dark figure. Misshapen diamond. Bitter fruit. Reserved seat. Death of the individual. I also don't like the no sound. The no sound is a little that was not the art. That was up here. Question mark. That's what it did before, world. There's no coming back after this. All your time here will be lost. Will you still jump in? What's this big painting, fabricated world? Hey, isn't that the gallery we came from? Does that mean if we jump into this painting, we'll be able to go back? But how are we meant to jump into a painting? Whoa, what? Ib, look, the frame. Now might be our chance. Yes, I'm really in. Hurry up, Ib. Ib, what's wrong? Come on. Mom? Ib, I finally found you. Goodness, I've been looking everywhere. Don't just go wandering off on your own. Your father's waiting for you too, see? Let's get going, Ib. Ib, hey, what are you doing? Hurry up and come over. Ib, how many times have I told you don't go following strangers? Hey, it's not scary, okay? You'll be fine. Ib, listen to your mother. Don't go with some stranger. Do you want to never see your mother and father again? Ib, here. I'll pull you over. Come with me. Reach out your hand. Ib! What should you do? I mean, it's almost certainly trying to trick me, right? I don't know. I want to go with Gary. I want to go with Gary. No, I want to go with Gary. I hope it's right. All right. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so nervous. Hmm? You can't remember what you were doing. I apologize if my daughter is bothering you. I did it. I made it back. I'm safe. I win. Oh, if you're looking for your parents, they just headed over that way. Is that Gary? that Gary? What is it, little lady? What are you looking at? Nothing much. I'm just looking at this rose sculpture. When I look at this rose, somehow I feel deeply sorrowful. I wonder why. Oh, my apologies. I shouldn't be dropping such things on you out of the blue. Never mind what I said. Well, so long. Mom! Real Mom! Ib, there you are! Oh, were you looking at this? Isn't it amazing? They say it represents a person's heart. I wonder if you have such a beautiful rose in your heart, Ib. Say, Ib, let's walk around together. You haven't looked over this way, have you? I hope we find more pieces you like. Is that it? Ending Memories Crannies. Did I win? Did I beat the game? Are we done? How many ending are there? Unlocked the true Giratina exhibition. A hidden dungeon. Bonus endings! Oh my. Oh, what is the true exhibit? How many endings are there? Here, you may peruse all the Giratina artwork you've seen on your adventure. There's no fear of being attacked, of course, so enjoy it at your leisure. There's some art missing. Pieces with titles will only go on display here if their official title is known. Specifically, Lady Ib herself must see the work directly as well as understand its official title. If a title contains words you don't understand, you may want to read it with someone who can explain. Is anyone here? It would appear more guests will visit here based on your conclusions you've arrived at. What do you say to aiming for a different conclusion on your next outing? I can't open some doors. You may not enter doors for areas you've not been to. I hear if you start a new adventure, there are secret stairs to find in the area with black walls. If you descend those stairs, well, I encourage you to see it with your own eyes. Whoa. So this is why I've been collecting paintings the whole time. While we're at the Giratina exhibition, I'd like to get a souvenir. Do you have any replicas of the paintings? The wall in our entryway does look a little bare. What a clever idea. Well, now I gotta know the true ending, so I guess we know what we're doing with our time. Oh, man. All the spooky paintings, huh? What ones did I miss? I wonder if I got all of the normal ones. I'm just missing the secret ones. Fascinating. I gotta know how many endings there are. Okay, let's go to Legoog. How many endings in Ib? 7? That's so many. Promise of reunion is the best ending, supposedly. I mean, we gotta discover the truth. I'm gonna try and choose Mom and see what happens. Let's see what happens if we choose Mom. I have a feeling it's not gonna be anything good. The original one-shot had 3 as far as I know. Still need to play that version. Agreed. Yeah, I want to know everything about one-shot. But now I want to know everything about this game, too. Okay. Gary jumps in. Boing. All right. This time we're going to go with Mama. And hope for the best. But probably die. Doing a few streams where I'll go through all 3 versions sometimes. I would be down to watch. Mother! Wait! Where are you going? Ib! Hold on, Ib! Ib! Bad ending, Ib all alone. Okay, well that was a quick ending. So she wasn't real. Well, we gotta start a new game. We gotta do the new game plus, baby! We got secret dungeons. So far, everything is the same. I kind of forgot what our dad looked like. Okay. So Gary was looking at the hanged man. Interesting. And I didn't even know that Gary was a thing. I didn't even know that Gary was a person I needed to know about. Bloody hand. No, not the hand yet. Okay, so now we have... So we found 80 out of 150? Wow! That's so many. Speaking of art, need to continue that art for my fiance. You gotta go? All good. So it said there were some new steps. Do you think that means here? Or inside of the world somewhere? I didn't need that cough. Okay, that cough just scared the tar out of me. Holy moly, that cough really scared me. I was not emotionally prepared for the cough. Come, Ib. I'll show you a secret spot. Okay. Show me a secret, show me a secret. Blue steps, show me a secret. Man, remember how scary this was the first time? It was so scary. Now it ain't so scary. Now it ain't so scary because I know what's happening. Okay, so some secret steps. Secret steps. Secret steps. Goodbye. Goodbye, Spooky. Eee! Yes, I am a thief. Secret steps. Secret steps. Where could they be? I need to find the secret steps. Secret steps. Secret steps. I need to find the secret steps. Oh, do I have to talk to him first? Okay. What's up, buddy? I'll get you a painting. You know, see? Now I'm afraid I gotta step on you. Point. Sorry, buddy. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. 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 Okay. It's a good thing I remember all the puzzles. Let's see if he's still in the same spot. Nope. Nope. Oh, I only have one more health. Oh boy, I better find some water. Uh-oh. I really gotta find some water. Is there no water anywhere? Yay, I found you! Oh, yeah, I gotta find her shoe. Found the shoe. Oh, I thought it was there. Maybe it's this one? No, no, I'm trying to give it the shoe. Yay! You're welcome. Yay! We did it! Now where are the secret steps? Oh, good water. Secret steps. Secret steps? Secret steps! I might have to look up a walkthrough to get through it in a reasonable amount of time. Ah, this one. I think it was brown, wasn't it? B2. I wonder if it's the same every time or if it changes. I'm about to find out. And they murder Brown. Yep, no big deal. No big deal, just super, super discomforting. Take the blue fruit. Whoa! And I'm doing like a speed run at this point. Oh, nonsense. I dodged it. I guess I didn't dodge it. I gotta stop just in time, huh? Bye. Ooh, what's that? That looks different. Is that different? That looks kind of different. Soul? Question, 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 ing, question, question, question? That definitely looked different. Oh, this part. I think it's you, isn't it? No? Oh, yeah, it was you. I know. Oh, I have to see the show. Okay. Doing great so far, folks. We're doing great so far. Gotta find Gary. Oh yeah, I gotta go save Gary's. Oh yeah. Man, we're going so fast. This really is like a speed run. Do I have to do something? I don't know how to do anything to get in here. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, he has a key on them. That's right. Observe. Got the key. Easy. Open the door. Easy. Bye-bye. Got your flower for you. I got your flower. Oh, I gotta put it in water, don't I? Got your flower. I need you to come look at a painting with me. I actually need you to come look at a lot of paintings with me. Because I think I'm supposed to backtrack with you. No. Stop. I have a lot of paintings to look at with you. She's really fast, huh? She's almost faster than Lady in Red. Okay, got that one. I got a lot of paintings I need you to look at. Oh, there's one too. Soul-sapping throng. You know, I just didn't even put two and two together that he was reading paintings for us. So we're gonna go back all the way to the beginning. Look at every painting we can. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know, to be honest. No. It's kind of funny that he's not saying anything. Like he doesn't care. It's also possible maybe all the paintings up until this point were legible. And so it didn't even matter. I'm just backtracking for no reason. Can't go back that far. Okay, I may have done something redundant, but you know, better to have done than not to have done. Because you know, maybe it counted. Maybe you had to do that to get the full experience. Is it gonna come down again? No. Okay. Back we go. Gotta find the secret staircase. We gotta find the secret staircase. Where could it be? Nobody knows, but we're gonna try to find it. I mean, we definitely found 5 more paintings, so go us. Good job. I've probably looked at all of these. Ugh, gotta solve all these again. I don't want to solve them all again. I wish there were some that you could be like, solve for me if you've already solved them, you know? That would be pretty nice. Oh man, this again. Secret staircase, where are you? Secret staircase, I need to find you. Secret staircase, where are you? Oh, I was just looking at it. Secret staircase, where are you? Secret staircase, I wanna find you. Beside the big tree. Is that what I said before? Aw, rats. Wait, no, that was right. Ah, man. I can't remember it, and I'm trying to rush it. Nicely done, nicely done. Nicely done, nicely done. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure I put the ring on his finger. No, it's on the bride. Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is a clue. Like, I wonder if there's another one I could have done to get a different result. Interesting. I think I need to look up a guide. It just feels like there's so much that I could be missing. Let's look. Multiple endings in IB. How do you get them? Well, this guide is extremely spoilery, so do not read this if you haven't beaten the game at least once. Even then, it's only recommended that you read this if you want to know exactly how to get the other endings and aren't willing to experiment. Also, it doesn't include any puzzle hints or anything, so don't come looking to it for that. Gary Doom counter. If there are 3 or more points in this, Gary will die in the toy box. That's one ending. If your bond is 8 points or higher, you're able to get promise of reunion. Reading the poster from the right-hand trick in the maze room. Stopping Gary from kicking the mannequin, picking up Gary's coat, talking to Gary 7 or more times in the safe room, reading the diary in the rope maze, looking at the milk puzzle, saying you're there or not there, talking to Gary 6 or more times in fake sunlight, telling Gary you're either fine or hurt all over after falling into the toy box, Mary's affection, When you reach the end of the game on a repeat playthrough, the dark gallery at the end of the game has a path to an extra dungeon. The black key at the end of this dungeon grants access to the True Giratina exhibition. Already done that, right? I don't know if these endings are worth it. Not gonna lie. Just looking at them, I don't know if they're worth it. I think we got the. I think I get the idea. Yeah, maybe I'll try to pursue these to quote unquote platinum this game, but I don't think they need to be done on stream. They're not different enough. I was thinking it would change it a bit more than it is. But so far absolutely nothing has changed, and that's just fine. This game has plenty to it. Okay, good. I just saved. But I think we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it there with this game. So chats in the clap for this game. I like Ib a lot. That was really fun. I think that it definitely had some big jump scares that got me. It's a fascinating enough story. I am a little bit bummed that I'm not going to get the achievement, but you know, maybe I'll get back in it and do all the rest of the stuff some other time. But there's a lot to be done. I still like Mary. I don't know why I like Mary so much, but I do. I think she's kind. I did beat it in less than 3 hours, which I think is pretty impressive. I beat it in 2.5 hours. I don't know if it's supposed to be that short of a game, but I did it. Okay, let's take a brief break because we missed our break earlier, and then whenever we get back, I'll have something to do. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. So, with that, I'll see you guys back here in just a second with some more Vigi games, but I'm going to turn you guys over to intermission. We'll take a 3-minute break. Go stretch your legs, look away from a screen for a second, have a snack, whatever you got to do.
I just wanna be
Take a little
done.
break for yourself, enjoy some time to yourself. Cracking noises until you end the strike. Do you guys like the cracking noise? How does it sound over the fancy microphone? That used to be how I would do the Predator. But I don't know how it sounds over the microphone. And I used to tell people that I could pop my neck like that. This is really happening at long last. I'm fed up. I can't do it anymore. Spectrum has pushed me too far. You've done too much this time, Spectrum. And you were here for it. The folks that are in the chat right now, you were here for this monumental moment where I finally am broken like the bat by Spectrum. I'm putting on my to-do list right now. Call Spectrum. All of you are here. All of you that are here right now in the chat, you're a part of this moment. You're going to get a badge that says you were a part of this moment of Checkpoint Church history. I'm not even kidding. Do it, please. Make it happen. If you know how to do it. If not, I can look into how to do it. But this is a moment. I'm calling Spectrum. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what the difference is going to be, but we're getting a new modem. At the very least, we're getting a new modem and a new router. And this is just absurd. My corner of the internet and you can't have it. Exterminates anyone looking in her direction. Absolutely, Trombone. Only a Dalek could do that. Oh, this is an example of what not to do. Don't be a Dalek. Be a Trombone Dalek in particular. Trombone Daleks, as you know, are notoriously generous. You are allowed to lament. If you've never heard a pastor say that before, let me assure you, you are allowed to lament. You are allowed to doubt. You are allowed to be hurt. You're allowed to be angry. But at the end of the day, whatever your prayer looks like, whether it's an angry prayer, a happy prayer, or whatever it may be, I hope that it gets to the action of entering into a relationship with Jesus Christ and with the body of Christ that is the church. That's what we're about. Oh, I thought it was three. I thought it was 3 hits. I thought it was 3 hits and then he was done. I thought it was 3 hits. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 hits. And that has been page 54 of the Mirror Mural, presented for your listening pleasure without context. Welcome back, welcome back. We're glad you're here, Perry. Glad you're here, Xanadu Peach. Welcome in. Apologize for being on a break during a weird time. We missed our break because we were in the middle of IB, and now we've beaten it, which feels good. I did forget to make a moment, so you guys get to be a part of the moment even though you weren't. But that's a moment for beating IB. Even though y'all weren't here, you were here. You were here for whenever I remembered to make the moment. So I try to keep track of the moments and try to do a good job with that, but sometimes I do better than others. I'm trying to decide what game to play next right now, to be honest. Oh, I have a couple of ideas. I have a couple of thoughts of what to play, but I haven't decided yet. But we're glad you're here, Xanadu Peach. Glad you're here, Perry. What to play. The issue is that there are so many games that I want to play. There's a game called Delete After Reading that I've thought about playing for a little while. Try out this cool game, Calculator. Nice. You know, I never watched Gumball. I need more Case of the Golden Idol. So get this. I clicked on this Delete After Reading game, and is this game relevant to you? Similar to games you've played, do you want to know what the similar game is to this game? It's Danganronpa. And then I scroll down to see more like this. It's Great Ace Attorney, Case of the Golden Idol, Phoenix Wright, Immortality, Backbone, Beacon Pines. What is this game? What is this game and why is it being recommended with Danganronpa? It doesn't look like Danganronpa at all. I'm so perplexed. Well, it's on my wish list. Delete After Reading: The Curse of Penguin Island. From the creators of Unmemory comes Delete After Reading, a text-based puzzle narrative adventure full of humor, adventure, and mischief. Enjoy a unique mix of literature, puzzles, and escape room mechanics with a ragtag bunch of adorable cartoon characters in the adventure of their afterlives, saving the only copy of one of the most influential games ever made from the machinations of destiny itself. Who doesn't want anyone meddling with reality? On the worst day of your life, you find a strange device with a file named Delete After Reading. It's a classified document. Nina, Cinco, and Tomate, a clandestine group of kids, want you to join them in a secret mission to fix Destiny's latest injustice. The despised billionaire Martin Skrillex has stolen the only existing copy of the highly coveted video game The Curse of Penguin Island, so that only he can play it. Only by joining forces, this group of friends will learn how to shape their own destiny while knowing there are consequences for their actions. There's one small detail, though. Nina is a ghost girl, Cinco is a goblin rapper, Tomate is a rabbit who claims to be the reincarnation of a certain blues brother. And with this peculiar band, you have to find a way to beat one of the wealthiest men in the world with the personification of destiny itself. Just what you needed to make your day. You'll need to sneak into the magnate's mansion and steal the video game so kids around the world can enjoy it. Easy as pie, right? If only Destiny didn't have the power to know everything you're doing and planning. For this mission to succeed, Destiny can't discover that you're changing his plans, so never, ever, ever forget to delete after reading. That sounds like a fever dream. Love Phoenix Wright. I also love Phoenix Wright. I mean, why not? Why not? Have you played any of the Professor Layton games? Yes. I am very excited for the new one. They're definitely not on the same tier as Ace Attorney, for me at least. I did know they combined. I heard it was okay. But if you can speak more highly of it, then I'll give it a shot. I don't know. I haven't played it. I think I got the Japanese version. Oh, no. Well, that would not do for me, as I do not speak Japanese. As convenient as that would be. I would love to speak Japanese because then I could play so many more of the games that never got ported. I love Professor Layton games. They're coming out with one for the Switch, and I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. Check out that new sticker. Ludo good. Good gaming good. Boom jams. Love to see it. You'll love to see it. All right, this game is downloading very slowly, but I'll almost do it. Professor Layton definitely keeps your brain going with all the puzzles. Agreed. All right, I'm going to update my title here. All right, it's downloaded. Let's give it a shot. What have we got to lose? Bye, Spoofy. Oh. To fully enjoy this story, put on your headphones. I'm probably not going to do that. And have a pen and paper handy. Okay. Pen and paper are handy. Looks a little loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let's get into it. Oh no, that's still real loud. Crank it back again. I wasn't expecting the drum solo. That looks relatively quieter. Let's give it a shot. The worst day of my life. Today is the worst day of my life. Oh, cool. Okay. Gotta click the words. Today is without a doubt the most despicable, miserable day of my life. Today is without a doubt the most despicable, disastrous, catastrophic, miserable day of my life. This morning, my toast fell on the floor, butter side down. Oh, the worst. The bus driver closed the door right in my face. At recess, my best shot at a goal flew straight through the window of the principal's office, the only one on a 200-meter long wall. As if that weren't enough, I've been given the part of a tree in the school play. Today is without a doubt the most despicable, disastrous, catastrophic, miserable day of my life. And to top it off, today's lunch was cauliflower. Cauliflower cheese. When I got home, I head to my room. I close the door behind me and flop onto my bed. I'm thinking that if I lie here and don't move a muscle, bad luck will finally get off my back. That's when I remember the strange object I found on the bus on my way home from school. It was on an empty seat next to me, as though it had slipped out of someone's pocket. I showed the driver, but he just muttered something about taking it to the lost property office. I take it out of my backpack. It looks like a super strange cell phone. Actually, it could be an insanely cool calculator, or maybe a GPS from the Soviet era. Who am I kidding? I have no clue what it is. I hold it in both hands and take a closer look. It's quite heavy. It looks older than my grandpa, yet it also strangely looks like something from the future. I've never seen anything like it. I wonder what on earth this piece of junk is for. I turn it around and flip it over, searching for an on button.
Honey, how's your homework going?
It's going good. How cheeky. My homework! After the day I've had, I've completely forgotten about it. What a drag. I'd better hide this gizmo before my mom spots it. Reluctantly, I take my notebook out of my backpack, open it, and start reading where I left off. Ugh, this is completely impossible. There's no way I can concentrate. I can't get that bizarre gadget out of my head. What if it's a teleporter to parallel dimensions? Or a guide to intergalactic hitchhikers? I need to investigate more. No. Homework comes first. Wait, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll leave it up to luck. I rip a page out of my notebook and screw it up into a ball. If I get in the waste paper basket, I can play around with a strange gadget. If I miss, I'll do my stupid homework. Oh no! Schwa! Oh no! No, dude, it's so hard! Yeah. What? Son of a space slug, what on earth was that? Something just sped past my legs and slipped behind the closet. It looked like a rabbit wearing sunglasses, but it was so quick I barely got a glimpse. I jump onto the bed and crouch there as I scan the room. Is there really a rabbit behind my closet? I pluck up the courage to slowly creep across the room. The gap between the closet and the wall is barely bigger than my pinky finger. There's no way a rabbit could have squeezed in there. I take a look inside the closet. There's absolutely nothing there. Only some clothes and a few pairs of sneakers. I'm gonna have to move it away from the wall to see what's behind it. I pull with all my might. The closet has barely moved an inch. I pull with all my might. Okay, another inch. This is impossible. Whoa! I'm gonna need to pull it at least 5 more times if I want to find out what's behind this closet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it! Now, there's a gap big enough for me to slip behind the closet and figure out where that sneaky little critter went. But there's nothing there. Just a wall covered in dust. Wait a minute. There's a small hole in the wall. It's barely bigger than the tip of my finger. I lean forward and peek through it. Holy Sith! Every time I blink, I see something different. Ah. Whoop. Beware! F. Destiny.
Stranger, a tall man with broad, powerful shoulders. I'm afraid there's only room for one of us to cross at a time.
What's that noise? It sounds like someone turned the TV on. There's something fishy going on here. I pull my head out from behind the closet and stand up. I slowly walk over to the screen on the other side of the room. The TV's older than dirt. What a piece of junk. I should turn it off. I plop down onto my bed and scratch my head in circles with both hands. It's a technique I invented to help me concentrate and mess up my hair at the same time.
Stranger, a tall man.
What if that pesky rabbit went under my bed? It can't have just disappeared. I'd bet my last Milky Way I saw a rabbit wearing sunglasses run between my legs. I'd crouch down and stick my head under the bed. Nope. There's only an old sock, some old trading cards, and remains of a muffin. Oh, and the chest where I keep my Dragon Balls. Here they are. I had 7, but one mysteriously disappeared a few months ago. It's a shame I can't summon Shenlong, but I keep the rest of it. Stop! But I keep the rest of my golden balls with their tiny stars under my bed like a hidden treasure. No trace of the rabbit. This is pointless. Wait, what's that noise? It sounds like an alarm. Where's it coming from? Oh, whoa, that's so cool. Okay. TV channel, I don't remember. I don't remember what the channel was. Okay, I guess I gotta turn it back on.
Stranger.
Seven?
Stranger.
What is happening? Okay. All right. Club Diamond Crown times Circle times Dragon Ball? It was the 7-star Dragon Ball. But what was the flag? Oh, it's number 5.
Stranger, a tall.
Okay, so what did those add up to? Beware. It's a W. The crown is an F? Or is it of? Of, O. Goofy. Destiny. So T. What? What? So it's 2. Okay. 2 times 5 times 7. All right, what is that? 70? No. Yes. Yes, 70. This is good! Oh, I'm here for this. I'm all about this. This is so fun. What? I was right! What do you mean?
Ranger.
Yeah, 2. 5. 7. Or is that 6? Am I a dummy? Was that a 6 star? That might have been a 6 star. It might be 60. 2. 5. Oh, it's a 6 star. It's 60. Okay. This is really cool. Whoa! Ghost detection. Messages and settings. Delete before or read before deleting. If you're reading this message, you've probably had a rubbish day. In fact, we're pretty sure you've had your fair share of rubbish days. And this definitely won't be your last unless you do something about it. Destiny exists. He's not an abstract concept. He's the real deal and a very powerful and impulsive guy. Destiny is entirely responsible for bad luck in all its forms. He's behind every terrible thing that happens to us, with no regard to the consequences his whims have on our lives. Destiny writes our future in a magic book he never lets out of his sight, which he keeps locked tight. Despite how unreasonable and baffling this decision may seem, everything in Destiny's book ends up coming true. However, an underground group of individuals with very special powers has been fighting against Destiny and his injustice for centuries, protecting the balance of the universe. Nameless and faceless, we are nobody, and anyone could be one of us. And anyone intelligent, brave, and willing to do whatever it takes to rewrite Destiny's book and fight against his outrages. If you want to be a part of our group and help us on our next mission, this is your chance. Are you in? Of course I'm in. Simov, not meta at all. Chapter 2, A Secret Door. I'm so into this and so sad I have to go to a work meeting. Have fun. See ya, Perry. This can't be real. So this thing is a ghost detector, and they want me to take part in a mission to help them change what's written in a book belonging to Destiny? This is too much. The strange device suddenly vibrates again. There's a new message. I quickly duck under the table and listen to it.
We don't have much time, so I'll cut to the chase. If you're truly willing to fight against Destiny and his injustice, you must first prove you're worthy to be part of the team. Let's see if you've got what it takes. If you can figure out how to open the door behind the closet, we'll count on you for our next mission. Take a good look at the ghost detector report, and you'll find all the clues you need. Oh, and don't forget to put the things on the list in your backpack. You have until 8. Hurry, hurry! Time is running out. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
I love her so much. That was such a good voice acting job. Great! Now it seems I'm dealing with ghosts. I need to get some air. I walk over to the window and lean my forehead against the cool glass. I close my eyes and breathe out slowly. What a day I've had. At least this proves my theory. Bad luck definitely follows me wherever I go. For some reason, I'm number 1 on Destiny's blacklist. But as it turns out, I have a chance to change that. If I'm accepted onto the team, maybe I'll learn how to change things. That would be so cool. I could change my grades to A's in all my exams. I could score that game-changing penalty. And I could choose whatever part I want in that end-of-year play. I would own my future and never ever have another bad day. And I'd never have to eat cauliflower cheese ever again. I flop back onto the bed and take another look at the ghost detector. Here goes. I open the file containing the mission report. If there isn't a Destiny's Child joke in here somewhere, that is a missed opportunity. Agreed. There is indeed an ad break. All right, The Curse of Monkey Island. Or, Penguin Island. Oops! I definitely didn't just spoil what that's a parody of. Tomate, Cinco, Nina, and you? Tomate, Cinco, Nina. What strange names. And there's a question mark after my name? They don't seem to trust me much. Required inventory. Flashlight, matches, Swiss knife, compass, rope, dark clothes. Potential and very likely risks. Destiny knows of the existence of our organization and is on the lookout. He's not at all amused we're trying to rewrite his book, and given how cruel and impulsive he is, he's probably going to seek revenge. With a simple stroke of his pen, he could have us reincarnated as deep-sea fish, or send us to the 5th dimension where lost socks end up. There are risks we're willing to take. Remember that it gets cold at night, so bring a coat just in case. We don't want you to catch a cold. Wow. So the danger is real. We have to be extremely careful out there. Going up against Destiny sure is a mean feat. Shoot! They only have until 8 if the clock is ticking. Mission instructions. Anyone who's ever played a video game knows that the Curse of Penguin Island is only the best game ever in the history of the planet. And why is that an O? Being surpassed only by its sequels, the new Curse, the new Curse of Penguin Island and the new Curse of Penguin Island. The announcement of a 4th game in the series caused a huge amount of hype. There was no doubt about it. The even newer Curse of Penguin Island was going to be the bomb. Yet thanks to Destiny and his whims, the only copy of the game in this world, a super exclusive ultra limited edition, has found its way into the hands of a cruel and merciless dim-witted moron. This is totally insane. The Curse of Penguin Island is the best video game saga of all time. I've been waiting forever to play the 4th part. I must have played the first 3 games more than 20 times. Especially the first game of the series where the rapper Penguins, D-Rock, NCA, and Mike B make an appearance. I have to find a way to open the passageway behind my closet. I don't have much time. The clues are in the report, so I better keep reading. What was that? There's someone at my door. Phew, false alarm. It's just my mom. She brought me a sandwich and a hot drink. Start, end. Fortunately, I had just enough time to jump up and hide the ghost detector under my pillow before she opened the door. I'd say she didn't see anything, and it's almost better that way, because I can already imagine her bombarding me with a ton of questions. Where did you get it? You didn't steal it, did you? Don't you have an exam tomorrow? Wow, that was close. I took my notebook and a pencil and pretend to be completely absorbed in my homework. I take a couple of sips from the mug. The hot chocolate burns the tip of my tongue, but it's so good. I let a few minutes pass before I tiptoe over to the door and peek through the keyhole to check the coast is clear. It's clear. There's no one there. I retrace my steps, go over to my bed, and pull the ghost detector out from under my pillow. I continue reading the report. Okay, another G and an M. A couple of weeks ago, the Banksy auction house put the only copy of the even... Not Banksy! Even newer Curse of Penguin Island up for sale at a private auction. The bids came in thick and fast as fans battled it out for a chance to own this one-of-a-kind game. But at the very last minute, the game was sold to an anonymous buyer in exchange for an unspeakable amount of money. Whoever this anonymous buyer is, they decided to never share the game with anyone else. Now, millions of Penguin Island fans will never get the chance to play the even newer adventures of their favorite characters. A whole of gamers will be traumatized forever. Who could be so cruel to do such a thing? What was Destiny thinking when he wrote it in his book? That should appear in the dictionary underneath the word injustice. I know I need a flashlight. Swiss knife. One step at a time. Before I forget, I'm going to put the things on my list in my backpack. I open my drawer. Here's everything I need. A pocket Swiss knife, a few badges, some matches, several pieces of candy, a flashlight, and my trusty old friend Gomez. Oops, doesn't work. It seems to have a screw loose, literally. I think I'll need a screwdriver to tighten it before pressing the power button again. How do I tighten it? What? I don't know what I'm doing. Did I see a screwdriver anywhere? Whoa! Whoa! Oh my. There's so much to do that I've been missing. Okay, so I've clearly got to find a screwdriver? Let's look for all the different colored letters. O G M. Ah. Okay. Enter the code. The Y. Oh, that's very funny. But no screwdriver. Where is a screwdriver? No, I don't need a hint quite yet. But I am definitely confused. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. OGM. Ah! That one. No. How do I use it? Aha! There must be more words. Ah, I see. Red and blue. Okay. Green, red, green, red, blue. Green, red, blue. Green, red, blue. What? Our mission is to... Oh, wait, hang on. What do you say, Gomez? Shall we sign up for the mission, my little robot friend? I remember he used to say funny things when I press his buttons in the right order, but that's not important right now. I don't have much time. I better keep reading. Our mission is to rescue the video game so everyone can play it. A game only one person can play is like a swimming pool without water, a pen without ink, macaroni without cheese. We can't let Destiny get away with such a despicable deed. And last but not least, we must leave absolutely nothing behind. There should be zero evidence. So, it must be in alphabetical order. So, if there's only one thing you remember, make it this. Or no, it's Gomez. I love it. I love it so much. That's such a good puzzle. Last but not least, we must leave absolutely nothing behind. There should be zero evidence. So, if there's one thing you remember, make it this. As soon as you finish this mission, you must delete this document. I'm done. That's everything. And this report supposedly contained the clues to open the door. I'm gonna have to continue my. I'm gonna have to put my thinking hat on. I look behind the closet again, but the little hole that was there before has disappeared. I run my hand along the wall to make sure. Nothing. It's completely smooth. I decide to try tapping my knuckles against the wall. Wait. It seems as though some parts of the wall make weird noises. They sound totally different to others. Then there's this gap here. I don't know how, but I'll get to the bottom of this. Where are those clues? I'm gonna have to read that report again. Okay, so a frog side and a bird side? Okay, let's do the Gomez puzzle first. All right, so definitely red, blue is the end. What was the O? The O was green. Red, green. Red, green, green. Red, green, green, red, blue. Red, green, green, red, blue. Red, green, green, red, blue. Gomez! What's up, buddy?
The cup and the penguins tell you the hour. The matches and the blue pin tell you the minutes.
What was that? The cup and the penguins tell you the hour. What penguins? The cup and the penguins. The cup and the penguins. the Penguin Island. There are 4 of them. The cup and the penguins. There are 5 arrows and 4 penguins. Does that mean it's 9? Can you say it again for me, buddy?
And the penguins tell you the hour. The matches and the blue pin tell you the minutes.
All right, there's 5 matches. 6. 56. Something 56. 956? Ah! Okay, so I don't know what the hours is about. The cup and the penguins. The cup and the penguins. Cup and the penguins.
The cup and the penguins tell you the hour. The matches and the blue pin tell you the minutes.
The cup has 5 arrows. There are 4 games. And it pretty clearly goes in this direction. Wait a second. Is that a backwards 5 or a 2? Stop it. Is that a 2? What, dude? Is that a 2? 2 what? So what are the penguins? 23 is not a time. Yes, it is. The greatest gamer. What was that? Frog, frog, bird, frog? Okay. Say less. Yes! Incredible. I've been living in this house my entire life, and it turns out there's a hole in the floor above mine. This definitely has something to do with ghosts. I pluck up the courage to slowly start climbing the stairs up the gloomy passageway. It's pitch black, but up ahead I spot a ray of light filtering through a small wooden door. Yeah. And I finally reach the last step. I stop in front of the door and gulp. My hands are shaking. My palms are soaked with sweat. I don't know if I can do this. I look behind me. My head is swimming with doubts. What if I were to go down the stairs, back into my room, put the closet back where it was, and forget about all this? No. No way. I can't just stand by while millions of people miss out on playing Penguin Island because of Destiny and his whims. I own my decisions and my future. I open the door. I walk into a small attic. I'm completely paralyzed. It could be fear or complete shock. Standing before me are the 3 oddest, most peculiar people I've ever seen in my life. I remember reading their names in the report: Nina, Cinco, and Tome. Well, well, well. So you've passed our little entrance exam. I guess we should welcome you aboard. Nina, a 103-year-old ghost in the body of an adorable little girl. Nina is an avid video game fan, so naturally she's outraged by Destiny's dirty trick and takes the mission to recover Penguin Island very seriously. She's adventurous, brave, very intelligent, and has supernatural powers. Cinco, but if he's made it this far, he must be pretty smart for a human, I mean. Nobody knows how old Cinco is, but he's 100 or even older. He looks like a child with pointed elf-like ears. He's shy, absent-minded, dreamy, a little on the short side, and very modest. He comes across as a bit of a wimp, but that's because he is. Tomate, come on, I could have done it with my eyes closed. Tomate never leaves the house without his sunglasses, tie, and a hat. He always says the first thing that pops into his head. He's pretty strong considering he's a rabbit. Dogs are his weak point. He hates and fears them to an equal degree. He's funny, easygoing, direct, and often takes things that don't belong to him. Now I know where that Dragon Ball went. Okay, now that we're all here, we have to find out what has happened to the only copy of Penguin Island. Destiny is not going to get away with this. We all know what to do, right? I don't. I haven't read the mission report. What's all this about Penguin Island? I'll tell you about it on the way. Come on, let's go. What? Are you just going to stand there and gawk? Or are you coming with us? Yeah! This game is hysterical. It's so clever, Sneaky. What the eye cannot see. Public friend number 1. Love it. By the way, this game was $5. It's beginning to get dark when we reach the Banksy auction house. I can't get over Banksy. Nina suggests we go over the mission report on the ghost detector one last time before we leap into action. Objective, get the video game back without Destiny finding out. Mission, sneak into the auction house and find the address of whoever bought the video game. Step 1, slip past the security guards and find the office belonging to the manager of the auction house. His name is Chris Salt. There you'll find information you're looking for. Useful tip, one member of the team must distract the security guards. They then must stand guard outside and warn the others if danger's amiss. They'll whistle if something goes wrong. Another member of the group will disguise themselves as the auction house janitor and enter the building using the staff door. Once inside, they'll open a window so the rest of the team can get into the building. They'll then stand guard outside the manager's office. Did you hear that? It's Tomate. He must be distracting the guards, Nina asks. And now, if all goes to plan, Cinco should appear in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Before Nina can finish counting down, Cinco pops his head from behind the door, disguised as a janitor. Quick, hurry, he whispers, as he signals to us nervously. Nina and I scramble into the building and duck behind a counter. The manager's office is upstairs. You go ahead. I'll keep watch, Cinco says quietly. Perfect, Nina replies. Remember, whistle if you get in any trouble. Cinco winks at us just before Nina, and I turn to run up the stairs, trying to make as little noise as possible. We find the manager's office in no time, but you're kidding! The door is locked. The report said nothing about a locked door. Nina, however, doesn't seem worried. Hold on to me. I'm going to try something. What are you going to do? I asked, intrigued. Nina suddenly pounces on me, and I find myself holding her in my arms. With great concentration, she leans closer and whispers something in my ear.
Close your eyes and count to 3.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Ouch!
Hey, Nina, what happened? I look down, and instead of Nina in my hand, there's now a key that chirps, hello! Holy cow, I drop it in shock and it clatters on the floor. Ouch, be careful, you klutz. Is that you, Nina? I ask, my voice is trembling. Of course it's me, Nina replies. Come on, let's not waste any more time. Do you think you can use a key? I place Nina between my fingers and insert her into the lock of the principal's office door, turning her very, very carefully. The principal? I thought we were at whatchamacallit? Banksy. It worked, we're inside the office. While Nina recovers her human form, I take another look at the mission report. Step 2, locate the manager's computer, search the database, and find the buyer's name and address. Useful tip. The computer may be hidden inside a locked safe. The password to open it must be in the same room. Not so useful tip. If at any point during the mission you have to move a rhino from the Belgian Congo to the city, whatever you do, don't turn it upside down. You'll make the poor thing dizzy. We have to find the computer belonging to the manager of the auction house. We'll split up to scour the office. It's a huge room and the decor is quite over the top, if you ask me. There are paintings on the walls, an aquarium, a coat rack with a hat, a bust, and a large designer table with an answering machine on top. There's no trace of a computer or a safe. Where could they be? Whoa! Oh.
I'm sitting on top of the world.
Nice. So you can turn into anything, I asked Nina as I rummage through the drawers of the office desk. Then why don't you turn into the computer we're looking for? Look here. It's not like I have superpowers or anything, Nina replies, making light of her ability. I can just turn into anything except electronic devices because then I would get an electronic shock. Makes sense. I think to myself, ghosts have their limitations too. But come on, that's enough chit-chat. We have to keep looking, says Nina as she puts a briefcase that was leaning against the desk onto the table. What's inside? I remember that. Okay. A is up, C is right, E is left, M is down. Great, we did it. We're smarter than a dolphin with an internet connection. We can hardly contain ourselves as we open the briefcase, but inside all we find is a piece of paper. That's it? There's nothing else? Nope. We have no choice but to keep looking for the safe in the computer. But we've already searched the office from top to bottom. We haven't found a single thing. We sit on the floor with our backs against the table. Or we sit on the floor. We stare at the wall, lost in thought. We go over the report again, just in case we missed something. Useful tip. Strong indications that there are visible clues. Of course! Why didn't I think of it before, says Nina. She jumps up and grabs the ghost detector out of my hands. It turns out that if you press a button, the ghost detector goes into scanner mode. Yes! How cool! That is cool. The light shows things we couldn't see before. Well, maybe this office holds a secret or two that were right under our noses. What? Write it down. Or you know what? I'll just take a picture. Picture would be way easier. Whoa! Whoa! That's so cool. Okay. Ah. Okay. So looks like there's a skeleton, jellyfish, and a hat. There were 3 jellyfish, I remember that. Line B? E equals 3? Skeletons. Maybe E equals 3 on the skeletons? What was the hat? Or is that this?
Perhaps you'll find something in the wall.
Look how the red light shines.
Oh, is it a light?
Perhaps you'll find something in the wall.
Wait a second.
Perhaps you'll find something in the wall.
Look how the red light shines.
I am looking at it. What? Okay. I'm gonna guess that the skull is also 3. The red light? No. The skull said E equals 3. Okay, the only one I know is that there are 3 jellyfish. But I don't know what this even is. Line B. Oh. Just needed to turn it over. Okay. 1, 3, 2. Let's try 1, 3, 2. No. What's that button? What's that button for? light thing's not making any sense to me. E equals 3.
Perhaps you'll find something in the wall.
Look how the red light shines. Look how the red light shines.
What does that mean?
Perhaps you'll find something. Perhaps you'll find something in the wall. Perhaps you'll find. Perhaps.
Sometimes
you'll
it
find
stays
something
on
in the
longer.
wall.
Look how
That
the red
always
light
blinks 3
shines.
times, though. I'm stuck. DBSR-45, the skull 1, 2, 3, the jellyfish 1, 2, 3, the light 1, 2, 3. E equals 3. What? Ah, okay. I don't know why that is, but I spammed it. I guess the light blinks 3 times. Okay. Of course, we find the computer inside the box. Next to the computer, there's a card holder packed with cards belonging to the auction house manager, Chris Salt. You open it and try to turn it on, but you can't seem to find the on button. Wait! Here's on the button. Here, on the bottom. That's not a screw. That's the button. ID. Chris Salt, +34. What? +34 96187 6949. Chris Salt at Banksy'sInc.com. Banksy'sInc.com. Now I gotta know if Banksy's Inc is a thing. We're going to Banksy's Inc. Site can't be reached. Man, I was really hopeful that was a thing. Okay. +34? It's 6 long. A small punched card. Oh, stop. Oh, man. What even? Let's write it down. All right, 4R. C1. S9. T6. Okay. How do I get rid of this now? Chris S, maybe? I want to see his name. Can I get the card away? I guess not. Line B. E equals 3.
Perhaps you'll find something in the wall.
ID is 6 long. I've only got 4 letters. Chris Salt. Still not enough letters. Even with E equals 3, it's still not enough. Birds mean nothing.
Look how the red light shines.
It's gotta be somewhere. What am I overlooking? There's definitely a number I'm missing. What am I missing? Ah! it even like led up to it so boldly. Man, I don't know. Chris Salt. What? There's nothing else I can do with this ID card? S is 9, yeah. T is 6. R is 4. C is 1. What? E is 3. Line B. I don't have any. There's no E in Chris Salt.
Look how the red light shines.
I might need a hint. I'm stuck. You have to open the briefcase? Thank you. Have a good look at the painting? I think so. Piece of paper with the diagram on it? Yeah. Perhaps if you figure out which boxes on the diagram to fill in. Yeah, I already did this. Seems like the letters that appear on the screen? What screen? There ain't no letters on the screen. What do you mean? There are no letters. There are no letters on the screen. What? Secret, maybe? Stop. Secret would be 931 R E T. Shut up. Shut up! 931436. Ugh. Ugh, I love it. Ugh, I love it. Oh, this is the worst, and I love it. Simov, bring the hereafter into the here and now. From 0 to 9,999 years, Ghost Detector. Patron 3. Oh, that looks very important. I'm going to take a picture of that. Compatible with all types of ectoplasms. An all-inclusive detection. Thanks to its ultrasonic ether particle scanner, this device can detect ghosts, sprites, time travelers, and all other types of entities. Wondering if you're truly alone? Activate the ghost detector and find out for sure. Crystal clear communications. Your voices from other dimensions like never before with the most sensitive microphone system on the market. Communicate with the other side of the message manager. Lost language translation package included. Next world storage. Storage capacity for hundreds of text messages, files, and audios. 256 megabytes of memory to save your memories to the afterlife, featuring an agenda and calendar up to the year 1984. Interdimensional discovery. Built-in wide-range infrared light for viewing specters and other ectoplasmic entities in the dark. What's more, thanks to Blacktooth technology, you can now connect to other devices and operate them remotely, and even establish long-range interdimensional connection networks. Infrared light beam. See reality through the eyes of spirit. Use the infrared light beam to see what others cannot. Transcend the hereafter. Help save suffering souls or condemn evil spirits with the Ghost Detector. Join and manage interdimensional missions thanks to its many features. Oh, warning! The Ghost Detector is equipped with a secret function so you can use it as a door to the afterlife. Activate only in cases of extreme emergency and use with extreme caution. Exclusive offer for living beings available for the counter, under the counter at grocery stores. Reserve yours today. This game is bonkers. The Pink Poodle in the Mansion. Street. Not Tiger, Lion King. We park up in front of the luxury housing department where Skrillex, the guy who sees the only copy of Penguin Island, lives. I came on a scooter, Nina on a skateboard, and Cinco and Tomate on a bike. They're all dressed in black from head to toe. What a sight. We look like a gang of ninjas. We circle the wall surrounding Skrillex's mansion until we reach the door. This is it, Nina says confidently. I'm starting to feel a bit jittery, but Nina looks remarkably calm, as though breaking into someone's house or something she did every day. Are we going to jump over the wall? I ask nervously. No, we're not going in this way, Nina replies. We'd be caught in no time, she says, as she hands me a map. I put the map into my backpack, where I also have the flashlights, the supplies, the ghost detector, and a pair of pliers. We circle the house, avoiding the areas lit by street lamps. If our information is correct, Skrillex is out of town on a business trip, but there are bound to be guards patrolling his mansion. We stop in front of the garden fence. It's way too high to jump over, but there's a gate, but it's locked with a padlock. We're going to have to break the padlock, but with what? Let's just see if there's anything in my backpack that could help us. Pliers. Okay. Use the pliers to break it. Garden. Tomate grabs pliers and cuts the lock without batting an eyelid, as though it were made of butter. Cinco pushes the gate open and we tiptoe through it single file. Skrillex has a huge back garden. It's as big as a schoolyard, but there's only one kid in this yard, a big selfish bully. We're going to teach a lesson once and for all. Who? The bear? It's pretty dark, but I can make it out a bunch of trees, bushes, and a statue with a fountain and pool at the very back. Crash! What was that? Oh, what a fright. It was Cinco. He tripped and fell face first on the ground. I help him up. I hear a dog barking in the distance. Have we been caught? I hate dogs, growls Tomate. Shh. Everyone be quiet, Nina whispers. Let's split up into two groups. We duck under the high trees and thick undergrowth and make our way over to the pool. There's a guard patrolling the pool's perimeter. We make a quick detour so he doesn't spot us. The guard does a couple laps, then walks away from the pool. We take the chance and slip into the garage. Would you look at that? It turns out Skrillex has a small collection of ultra-luxury cars in his garage. Why does someone need so many cars, especially just to have them parked here and covered over? We can see the mansion's security checkpoint from a small window in the garage. It's a small cabin tucked away in one of the corners of the garden. There's a guard inside the security cabin watching the video surveillance cameras. Nina's explained this plan. If we want to get inside the mansion, we first have to distract the guard in the security house so we can then sneak inside and disconnect the alarm system. Tomate is in charge of distracting the guards. He's an expert. He'll hide in the bushes by the pool and sing a song to get the guard's attention. When they realize there's a singing rabbit, the guard will lose their pickles. And when Tomate scampers off at top speed, they'll never catch him. Meanwhile, Nina and Cinco and I will take advantage of the confusion to override the security system. Tomate sneaks out of the garage, and we crouch under one of the ultra-luxury cars while we wait for him to do his thing. I really hope this plan works. This is so nerve-wracking. After a minute or so, we hear Tomate belting out his favorite song. The guard leaves his position in the security house and heads towards the pool, flashlight in hand. It's now or never. We creep out from our hiding spot and dash over to the security house. Oh yeah, we made it. We're in a tiny room surrounded by hundreds of screens. On them are images from the security cameras. There it is, Skrillex's mansion. I bet it's protected by a high-tech security system to ward off intruders. And there must be a ton of alarms too. According to the ghost detector, if we want to deactivate the mansion's security system, we need to figure out the code to access the control panel. We find these combinations in the report, but we have no idea which code is the right one. Let's see. 2 empty diamonds equals the letter LAG, 3 black diamonds equal REG, and 2 black circles equal RAT. There must be some kind of relationship between the symbols and the letters. But then, what do these 3 empty circles on the control panel mean? Okay. Lag reg rat. Lag reg rat. 3 circles. Could it be RET? That's the only difference between those two. Nope. Lag to oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Let. Oh, no, wait. If the difference between 2 black diamonds and 3 white diamonds. I have no idea. What? That's the only hint I have? And I can't figure out the one hint I have? I'll try writing it down. Let's see if writing it down helps me work through the puzzle. Like a turning them upside down. I don't know. Try to figure out what letters corresponds to the 3 white squares. What? What do you mean? 3 letters that correspond to the white squares? I don't know what you mean! I don't know what you mean. Look at the above combinations on the ghost detector. What if the letters have something to do with the different shape, color, and number combinations? I'm not getting it. Is there anybody in the chat right now? Are you guys getting this at all? Am I just totally burnt on... I'm not understanding what they're wanting. Yeah, they only gave me those 2 hints. I don't get it. I don't get the puzzle. Maybe I'm just burnt. Maybe I've done my fair share of puzzles today. Because I don't see any correlation. And I've been pretty quick to get all of these puzzles so far. This is the first one that like my brain isn't even there for. I mean, I don't even have like a little bit of an idea. Don't know where they're getting a G? I have no idea. I have genuinely no idea. I feel so dumb right now. I'm Googling. There's nothing, so clearly it's just me. I have to know. I have to know. We're on the final chapter too.
Must be 2 and E must be...
Did I not try let? I definitely tried let. I don't know how we get to let, but I definitely tried let. I tried let. I know that I tried let, dude. I remember trying let. I swear it. I must not have tried let, but I could have sworn I tried let. Okay, I don't get that one. I'll go back and read about that one at some point. Oh boy, that's it. I've disabled the alarm. Now we should be able to sneak into the mansion. No problem whatsoever. The easiest way to get in is through the kitchen, so we have to find a spot to hide facing the back door and go over the mission report one last time. Classified document. Objective. Find relevant documentation of retrieve video games, safe and secret room, access via library. We wait only a couple of minutes, but it feels like forever. Suddenly the back door of the kitchen opens and a chef comes out carrying some garbage bags. As he drags the garbage bags to the dumpster, Nina, Cinco, and I dash toward the open door and slip into the kitchen. The smell of apple pie wafts through the kitchen. Wait a minute, where's Cinco? Cinco, put that down, Nina yells suddenly as though scolding a little kid. You're always thinking about your stomach. Okay, Cinco replies, putting a half-chewed piece of apple pie covered in drool back on the counter. Without wasting another second, we leave the kitchen. Dining room. We walk into the dining room. It's a huge room. There's a long table in the center surrounded by chairs. The end of the other end of the dining table is a double door. Maybe it's that way, Nina says, not sounding convinced. But wait, there's also a smaller door to our right. Which of the two doors leads to the library? Small door. Bathroom. This is just a tiny bathroom. It's very lavish, but it's so small that you need to bend your knees and sit on the toilet. Let's go back to the dining room. Double door. Woof, woof, woof. We walk through the double doors into the living room, and an extremely bad-tempered pink poodle stops us in our tracks. It won't stop barking. For such a little guy, he growls like a wild wolf. Get him to shut up and do it fast, Nina shouts. Cinco steps forward. Leave it to me, he says. I'm going to hypnotize him. But do you know anything about hypnosis? I ask suspiciously. Cinco starts waving his arms and hands above his head as he stares directly into the dog's eyes. The poodle stops barking for a moment, intrigued by the spectacle, but after a few seconds, it starts barking again, this time even louder. There's nothing we can do. We can't go this way. We have to go back. Bathroom. We're trapped. We have to do something. This way. Come on, says Nina as she points to a small window on the shower wall. It's our only way out. I give Nina a boost up so she can climb out through the window. We hear Cinco say, how strange. What is this doing here? He's reading a note taped to the toilet seat. Nina and I look at the Cinco, slightly puzzled. What? He says. I always get the urge to go when I'm nervous. Well, then be quick about it, I say, as I help Nina climb out the window. Eat Man, Nasty Penguins, Battle Royale. So I saw this as the last chapter, and I think we might just finish this. Nina, Cinco, and I scramble through the small window, landing on top of each other. Luckily, none of us are hurt, and we seem to have thrown the dog off the scent. Up ahead, we can see a landing and a staircase. We can go up or down the stairs. Let's what? We burst into the hallway with several doors. There's one to the right, one to the left, and one at the very end of the corridor. We've gained some advantage over the poodle, but its barking is getting closer. No! A locked room. The barks and growls are getting closer. We head back to the hallway. To the left. No! A locked room! Door won't open. To the hallway. Very end. Studio. Oops, we open the door and stand right in front of us is the butler. He's vacuuming the carpet with a pair of headphones on. He must be listening to music and he hasn't noticed us yet. We have no choice but to head back. Don't move, says Nina suddenly, stretching out her arms and stopping us in our tracks. The poodle's standing right in front of us, blocking the way. It growls and we glimpse its fierce fangs. It has us cornered. There's no escape. This is the end. So much for our adventures. We're going to get caught and I'll spend the rest of my days eating cauliflower cheese in prison. Wait. Look, I say, pointing to a door that none of us have noticed. We haven't tried that door yet. Just as the poodle's about to pounce us, I open it, and Nina, Cinco, and I scramble inside and close the door behind us. Finally, we're safe. Wait, I need to make sure I don't have a meeting today. No, I don't. Okay. Well, what do we have here? How's it going, small fries? Hello, sir. Gulp. It's Destiny himself. We're doomed. Now, what are you doing here? You're not trying to change my story, are you? My story? Who? Us? No way! What made you think that? What a fib. I'm starting to think lying must be another one of Nina's superpowers because she seems mighty calm. Destiny leans towards me. He looks me up and down with his piercing eyes. And this one, is he new? Where did you find him? He's no one. He's a friend, right, Cinco? That's right, he's a friend. You could say that Destiny is enjoying this interrogation. So no one's going to tell me what you seem to have lost here. We came over to play with Mr. Skrillex. He invited us to his house to try out his collection of games. I know you're plotting something. I suppose you already know what happens to those who attempt to rewrite my plans, right? He's got us cornered. Yes, of course we know that. We'd never do that. We're just not the type. I know it's not good to lie, but as my uncle says, you should never lie unless in extraordinary circumstances. And this, without a doubt, is an extraordinary circumstance. All right, I'll believe you this once, but let me serve you as a warning. I'm watching you. It seems like he bought it. Flush! Destiny turns around and floats toward the door. Instead of opening it, he drifts straight through it like a ghost and disappears. We stand there with our mouths open. Blimey! Double blimey! Bedroom. Has he gone, I ask? My legs are still shaking. I think so, Cinco replies. We glance at each other and gulp nervously. We stand there for a good while, taking in our surroundings. This must be Skrillex's bedroom. The bed is huge. There are paintings on the walls and a large flat-screen TV. There's an intercom next to the bed. I guess he uses that to call the butler. Go make sure he's definitely gone, Nina says, pointing to the door Destiny disappeared through. Me, I ask, hesitating. Yes, you. Go on, she replies, pointing to the door again. Dressing room. I creep into the room as carefully as I can, trying to ignore how scared I am. I walk into a dressing room. There are built-in closets and a couple of giant mirrors. Luckily, there's no sign of Destiny. I'm about to leave the dressing room when I notice that one of the closet doors is ajar. What if Destiny is hiding in there? I'm going to have to check. I walk over to it ever so slowly and pull open the closet door. The inside of the closet smells of mothballs and air freshener. There's nothing but clothes and shoes in here. No, wait. Looks like there's something else under here. I crouch down to discover something shiny in between the pairs of shoes. It looks like a mini superhero figurine pointing a gun. What's this miniature superhero doing in here, I wonder? Who's that banging around? I should go check the bedroom. I get up and close the door. I run back into the bedroom and find Cinco hiding in the bed, curled up in a ball. Hide quick, he yells at me, trembling with fear. There's someone banging outside the bedroom door. Who is it, I ask, raising my voice, but no one answers. Nina walks over to the door and very slowly and puts her hand on the knob. What are you doing, I exclaim. Nina looks at me without saying a word and begins to turn the knob. Oh my, we're gonna get caught! The knob eventually clicks and Nina opens the door. It's Tomate! What's up, team? Says the rabbit with a huge grin. I climbed up the outside wall and sneaked in through the attic. I had no idea where you were. You terrified us, complains Cinco as he scrambles out from under the bed. But the truth is, deep down, we're over the moon to see Tomate again. What about the poodle? What shall we do about it, I ask. Oh, right. We don't have to worry about that anymore. It won't be bothering us again, Tomate replies with a mischievous smile. Good. Well, we have to hurry. We need to find that secret room. The hallway is in front of us. To our left is the door that leads to the attic. To the right is another door. At the end is the studio, and then the door to Skrillex's bedroom is behind us. Let's go to the attic. We can now get into the attic now that Tomate has opened the door from the inside. The attic is full of all kinds of knickknacks and junk. It looks like some kind of antique store. The pink poodle is gagged and tied to the wall with duct tape. The critter snarls and growls. His eyes are full of hatred. It doesn't look as fierce as before. Nina, Cinco, and I look at Tomate, waiting for an explanation. We signed a peace deal, the rabbit says. He grins and shrugs his shoulders. We go out into the hallway. All right, to the right is another door that's locked. Okay, we gotta find a key. The studio, the bedroom, and the stairs. Ooh, the basement. Locked. The living room. We can go into the immense living room. There are two large sofas and a low table in the center. A majestic chandelier hangs from the ceiling. From the looks of it, I bet it's worth a small fortune. The most striking detail in the living room is the mural of thousands of penguins painted on the wall. Nina and I gawk at the painting in admiration. There's no doubt Skrillex is a huge fan of Penguin Island, but in no way does it justify his selfish behavior. We have to keep looking for the library. From here, we can go to an office, a games room, or the dining room. I guess let's go into an office. This must be Skrillex's office where he works. Although it doesn't look like he spends much time here, we rummage through the desk drawers and lift up the corner of the carpet to see if there's a trapdoor underneath, but nope, there's nothing here. That's strange. There's a sphere-shaped paperweight on the table. Inside there seems to be small figures that look familiar. According to the map, the door on the right should lead us to the library. Or we can go back to the living room. Phew, the library. Finding this library has been harder than finding the lost city of El Dorado or Atlantis. And what a library. It's lined with floor-to-ceiling shelves, jam-packed with every book you could ever imagine. There's not an inch of the walls that isn't covered by books, magazines, or manuscripts. The only free space taken up by the doors that lead to the game room. Those definitely look like arrows, don't they? If I look carefully, I can make out several small figure stands on the shelves right in front of me. What a coincidence. The stands are for Super Gomez, Atomic Blonde, and Peludo. Atomic Blonde is the best, says Tomate. No, Peludo is, Cinco replies. Will you both focus, please, snaps Nina. We've come all this way to rescue the video game, not to chat about our favorite characters. Hey, have you seen this, I say, raising my voice. When I was snooping through the books, I found some sort of remote control with a button. Let me see that, says Tomate, grabbing it out of my hands. Look, it says shoot. Weren't Super Gomez and company holding a gun? Does that have something to do with it? But what exactly are we looking for, I ask. I don't know, Nina replies, shrugging her shoulders. Maybe a key or some kind of lock? You mean something like this, Nina? Tomate says, pointing to a box of buttons he found when grabbing a copy of Mad Magazine off the shelf. And here's a lever, I say, pointing directly opposite where we're standing. Okay, I took a picture of that thing earlier. Eat Man, Nasty Penguins, Battle Royale. Uh-oh. The art looks like The Incredibles. I dig it. Yeah, I'm super into it. We're going a little late today, Save Point. Welcome in. I'm so confused. Let's go to the games room. We're leave the living room and go into the games room. Whoa, how cool. This is paradise on earth. In front of me is the biggest screen I've ever seen in my life. And it's connected to every console you can think of. There's Eatman. There are even consoles I've never seen before. They must be foreign, I guess. In the corner of the room, there are shelves and shelves of games in perfect order. There are also a couple of arcade machines and a pinball machine. Jeez, Skrillex sure lives the high life. On one of the walls, there's a framed Eatman poster. It looks like a limited edition. It must have cost a bomb. There's a line on the poster that reads, "How will Pac-Man escape?" Eatman. How will Eatman escape? At the very back of the games room, I spot a door between the arcade machines. Left, down, right? Is that relevant? Left, down, right. That feels relevant. Okay, so now we're looking for Nasty Penguins and Battle Royale. Oh. Whoa. Holy moly. Super Gomez. Atomic Blonde. Boludo. What on earth? Oh, man. I guess that gets us back to here, huh? Oh boy. Office. Yes. Nasty Penguins. 1, 2, 3. Is there anything I'm supposed to get from this? Maybe right, left, right. Right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. Oh boy. Why does he have a Volkswagen? Living room. The only one left is the Battle Royale books. Dining room. Kitchen. We carefully open the door. Just enough for Cinco to poke his head through. Coast is clear. Outside into the garden are the guards. Wait. Isn't that a door over there? Staff room. We open the small door in the kitchen and walk into a bedroom. It must belong to the butler, the one who was vacuuming. Hey, look, says Nina. There's a set of keys on top of the bedside table next to the bed. We go back to the kitchen. Library. Office. Living room. Stairs. Basement. Key. Okay. Wine cellar. We try the keys we found and voila, they work. Now we can get into the basement. It's pitch black in here and smells musty. I stick out my hand and fumble at the wall and find a light switch, but it doesn't work. Luckily, the squadron are ready for any and every type of this situation. We turn on our flashlights. I'm so hungry, you guys. Watch out, Nina yells as she almost loses her balance. There's a staircase right in front of us. We shine our flashlights onto the steps. The place looks like a warehouse. There are metal shelves stacked with all kinds of things. Stuffed animals, knickknacks, and old rickety gadgets. Freeze, booms a deep voice from behind us. We stop dead in our tracks. That's it. This time they've got us, I think to myself. Put your hands up, the voice says sternly. We have no other choice but to obey. And we were so close, we almost made it. And don't turn up. The voice suddenly, behind us suddenly starts laughing uncontrollably. I turn around and, you little, Nina shrieks at Tomate, the rabbit and his jokes. Tomate grins mischievously and points at us with a figurine of the bounty hunter Peludo holding a machine gun. We're gonna get caught because of you, Nina scolds. We head back up the stairs. Okay, so I got one of them. We try the studio again and discover the butler's gone. Now we can explore the room. There's a work desk and computer and a large screen. Atomic Bond. Nice. Jim? Wasn't easy, but Nina and I finally managed to get into the room and discover that it's nothing more than a gym. It seems like Skrillex's mansion really does have it all. The only thing that's missing is a secret lab in the basement and a UFO landing strip on the roof. The gym is so clean and shiny, all the gadgets and machine look so new. My guess is Skrillex doesn't use them much. What was the point of that room? Okay, I have one more figurine to find. Super Gomez. Okay, so I found all 3 figurines. Oh, nice. Well, they're all back. Ah. Okay, well, all that's left was the books, but I don't know. The books just say Battle Royale? What's the order of the Battle Royale books? Treasure, conditions, odds, forfeiture, treasure. I don't know what the order's supposed to be. Treasure, odds. Okay, we'll just try every combination, I guess. Up, up. Up. All 3 are up? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's up, up, down, left. Down? We'll find out. All right. Left, down, right. Didn't do anything. Right, left, left. Up, up. Down, down, left, down. What? What does that mean? Does that mean wrong? What? No. I don't understand. Pac-Man was definitely left, down, right. He was definitely left down. Maybe it was. Okay. Up, up, down, left, down. What? Let's look at the books again. Up, 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 left, up. So maybe it's wanting me to put them correctly. Okay, so up, 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 up. Stop. Stop. What? It was up. Up, 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 left, up. What? I don't understand. Up, up. Is there an order to those books that I can't find? Treasure, conditions, odds, forfeiture. Treasure is up. Conditions is up. Odds is up. Forfeiture is left. Because there's treasure again, and it's... What? Should be up. Up, 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 left. What? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Could it be the picture? Maybe I need to look at the frames. That one's got 2 lines, square, circle. They're identical. They're identical books. I don't know. Let's look at a hint. No. Really? Really? That's the one that I don't need a hint for? Oh. Oh. What? What do you mean? I'm supposed to see where they're shooting? use the controller to fire the guns. What controller? Ah. Okay. Hi. Up, down, left, up, down, left. I would have never in a million years figured that out. Okay, let's go to the other side. That one was too obscure for me, for sure. Oh, I gotta turn the lights back on? Nice! We activated the lever in the library. It seems we've opened a secret hatch. There's a staircase in front of us that leads down to Skrillex's secret room. Now we better split up, says Nina. Cinco and Tomate, you guys stay here and keep watch. Anything happens, you know what to do. And us two will head down here and get the video game, Nina says. Looking at me, I nod my head. We start going down the stairs when suddenly Nina turns back and says, if this door closes and we're not back in 5 minutes, get out of here and call the police, okay? Tomate and Cinco nod. Nina and I will continue down the stairs, leaving the library behind us. The path leads us to a huge metal vault door that, fortunately for us, is open. We walk through it and find ourselves in a concrete chamber. It looks like some sort of atomic bomb-proof bunker. The decor in here is much more low-key than the rest of the mansion. There's a long table in the center of the room, some chairs, a sofa, and hanging on the wall is a large, rather arrogant portrait of Skrillex presiding over the room. It seems to be watching our every move. What does the ghost detector say? Nina asks. I take the detector out of my pocket and read aloud. Mission report. According to our sources, in a secret location inside the mansion, you'll find a safe that Skrillex had custom built. There's a 99.9% chance that the only copy of Curse of Penguin Island is hidden inside the safe. There are also numerous indications that the auction in which Skrillex got his hand on the video game was rigged, and the evidence of that crime is also very likely to be found inside the safe. A rigged auction, I really have seen it all. Some people are capable of doing anything to get what they want. So, where has Mr. Skrillex hid the mysterious safe? Nina asks, without taking her eyes off the portrait. Now what's this? I ask, flipping a switch hidden from view underneath the table. The second I flick the switch, the frame moves, revealing a safe behind it. It feels like it was made from armored steel, so we can forget about prying it open by force. This is where things get complicated. We're going to have to figure out the password to the safe to open it. Come on, says Nina. The chances are the password's hidden right here in this room. Look, I say to Nina, pointing to a wall lined with monitors. There must be security cameras set up all throughout the house. I recognize some of the rooms we've been in. I had no idea there were so many video surveillance cameras. Now, if Skrillex had been here, we would have caught us right away. Come on, Nina says. Let's not waste any more time. The two of us set about scouring the bunker from top to bottom. We rummage through inside the drawers, probe the walls, check the ceiling and the monitors. We duck under the table and comb every corner. There's not an inch of the room we leave untouched. When I'm about to give up, I stop and notice a pendulum sitting on a piece of furniture. It has 5 numbered balls. I can't help but lifting one of the balls and starting the pendulum, but its behavior is most strange. Console! Ah, I see. 2, 7, 23, 17. 2, 7, 23, 17. Right? 2, 7, 23, 17. 2, 7, 23, 17. Okay, computer. Nice. All right. 2, 7, 23, 17. 2 says, okay, computer. Don't know why, but it does. 2, 7. Basketball. Whoopsie. 23. Star. 17. Oops. Wait a second. Is it not wanting to show me 17? Is just lines. It zooms in on 3 lines. Okay. So we just got to try and figure out this passcode. It's 4 numbers long. Okay. Is 2 letters long. B-ball is a 0. Star has 5 sides. And it zoomed in on 3 lines. Man, I really thought I had it. I was going to be like, no shot. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Incorrect code. What room is missing? So there's a room missing. Is it the games room? I think the games room might be missing. So it'd be Pac-Man. So what's in the games room? Maybe a 1? You think it's zooming into that little like circle? That little 1? It's worth a shot. So that'd be 2051. Ah, man. Might need a hint. Okay, I've already got that. That's not really a geometric shape. I mean, unless that's a square. I guess it's supposed to be a square. Okay. So that's a 4-sided. That's a... Well, no, technically that's a 1 side, isn't it? A circle 1 side? It's either a 0 or a 1. Star is 5. I don't know what the 3 lines is. We got a couple options, I suppose. Okay, so the first one is 4. Let's say it has no sides. 5. And let's say that it's 4 sides. No. The question is, what does it think is that last one? Try fixing it? What do you mean, try fixing it? Yes. I know this. What do you mean fixing it? If the monitor doesn't work or can't see anything, you may have to go to the room on the screen and try fixing it? Try fixing it. What do they even mean? Try fixing it. It has to be that room, right? Are there any other rooms that aren't? I'm so hungry. I just want to be done. I just want to be done, but we're too close. We're too close to the end. We're spamming it. We're spamming it. No, no. It was 3. Nina and I rub our eyes in complete disbelief. What we're feeling is too big for us to describe, too intense for us to put into words. Pikachu! Pikachu, Penguin Island, and money, and a crown. It's the only copy of the even newer Curse of Penguin Island on the planet. This video game is one of the greatest creations in the history of humanity, equal only to the Egyptian pyramids, the International Space Station, and the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's not all. Top secret. The ghost detector report was completely right. There are also a bunch of documents hidden inside the safe that prove the auction was rigged. There's more than enough evidence to bring Skrillex down. We've got what we've come for, but we better get out of here right away. Just our luck. Hey, have you lost something? How on earth did you get past my security system? I'm gonna have to get a bigger poodle, aren't I? The infamous, arrogant, despicable Skrillex! You can forget all about Penguin Island, kid. For your information, I've played it dozens of times and I've unlocked all the different endings. And you know what? It's the best game of the saga. Before, it was just an inkling. Now I'm 100% sure Skrillex is the biggest cretin on the face of the earth. Hands up. Freeze! The security guards storm the room and surround us. No, wait. They only surround me, but Nina, where's she gone? She was right here. Guards, do your job and take the prisoner. I'll decide what to do with him later. Incredible. I actually held the even newer Curse of Penguin Island in my hands, and now I'm Skrillex's prisoner. Let me go. There's no answer. I thought there were only 4 chapters. All right, we can't keep going. We certainly can't keep going. I thought there were only 4 chapters. I had no idea there were more than 4. Not enough people have played this to have any idea. Well, we're not going to continue going because I can't just keep going forever and ever. I thought that was the last chapter, but it clearly wasn't. So we'll finish this next Thursday. But this is a ton of fun. I've enjoyed this game a ton. I thought it was a goofy, fun time, and I enjoyed laughing at it. We do have some people who are currently on an ad, so as soon as we get back from the ad, we'll hop off here. But it looks like we played for almost an hour and a half. That's a crazy fun game. I had a blast with it. Let's see who's live to raid right now. We got a couple people. Let me see if there's anybody who's on the bottom of the totem pole. I feel like we've been rating Chowfan H a lot recently. I can't remember who we... Oh, it's a second stream anniversary. Oh, we're definitely going to go rate XG Ninja if he's celebrating a stream anniversary. Folks, we got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2... 1 long seconds. All right, we are Checkpoint Church. We're really a church. I'm Nerd Pastor, the pastor here. I thank you for sticking around for this extra long stream for us today. We believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there. Number 1, that God loves you. Number 2, we love you. Number 3, that you, yes, you matter. You're a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, if you would do me a favor, if you would go raid XG Ninja, and instead of doing any kind of fun raid emote, if you would just spam You Matter over on XG Ninja's channel, I would so appreciate that. With that, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!